and welcome to the grand finals of the WESG America Regional Finals. Surprise! The Wardy Penguin duo is back.
We had a very, very emotional parting after the second semifinal, but the very kind Rotterdam has decided to let us cast this one. It's going to be amazing.
This is going to be such a sick series because I just talked about it with Roddy, where I really feel like this TVZ was a stomp yesterday, but it's going to be a really, really good series now when Scarlett has a bit more of an idea as to what is going on. This is the WSG America Regional Finals, where we have got players from North America, from Latin America, South America, here to compete, to represent their countries in this huge event, which has $4.5 million over 4 games. And these are the essentially qualifiers, but also with $10,000 for first place on the line to get to China, where the global finals will be, for $200,000 first place.
That is awesome. And SOS isn't going to be there, so other people actually have a chance. It's going to be incredible. We've got the brackets ready for you guys. You can bring those up on the screen to show you what's happened today. We have been so lucky with just the matchups, the players, and also just we've seen every matchup except for PvP. We started the day off with 3-1. Scarlett finally dropping a ZVZ map for the first time in weeks. Cham playing very well, but she is on fire today. And then we saw Kelezer versus Eric. Solid TVZ. The scoreline doesn't quite reflect how well Eric played, but still a dominant performance from Kelezer.
Yeah, and then Kelezer came out. Of course, he did fall to Major, which set us up for that Scarlett Major finals here. We did just come out for the third place match, and it was an interesting one. Neeb not looking as sharp as he usually does today, but did take the win in the end against Kelezer. It was a fun series where Kelezer sort of won a couple quick games, kind of lost a couple games, which were pretty fun as well. But then the last game on Dasan was really interesting. We saw the Tempest come into play, the Vikings, so much interesting stuff. Neeb takes that third place finish, an extra $1,500 over Kelezer, and that was pretty nice. So Ting Neeb in third place. Scarlett and Major fighting for first place. This is really interesting, like Scarlett, Major in the finals. It really is two kind of pinnacle, great players of the American scene.
Really is.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Like, I think either of these players winning this would be insane. When was the last time like Major won? I mean, I know this isn't like it's a pretty big tournament. It's not like the finals, because it's essentially like a qualifying to a big tournament. But when was the last time like Major won something big like this?
Honestly, I'm not sure if he has. Yeah. He's one of those guys who's had form peaks where he's been able to get very, very far. And this is obviously a long time ago, but back in the old WCS system, these two players came out of Mexico and Canada, respectively. Both did very, very well in the North American finals. So similar tournament format, and here they are again. Oh, man, I love this format so much, Wardy.
I just love regional-based stuff.
Great.
It's fantastic. So let's do this. It's time to go into our grand finals. Game number 1. What better way to start a TVZ than New Gettysburg? Down to the bottom right-hand side from Team Expert, it's going to be Scarlett.
The Queen of Blades herself. It's been a long time since she won one. I think her last big tournament win came at NorthCon at the very end of 2014 against Jadong at that Aces ROG tournament. That was a great win for her. And her opponent, though, looking for this tournament win, and honestly, he's really looking good for it. I would call him the favorite, Wardy, in this match. From Invasion Esport, the Red Terran player, Major.
All weekend long, I've sort of looked at Major. I'm just like, no one's going to beat this guy. But I have a feeling about Scarlett. I said against with Roddy as well, actually. I feel as though this is going to be a 6-game series. I'd be very surprised if it was a 4-1 or 4-0. I think Scarlett's going to take it, though. I believe in the Zerg. Zerg power.
Something that Scarlett is often praised for, and we've talked about multiple times this weekend, is just her intelligence in the game. And also, as a sort of a tangent on that, her ability to adapt. And she's already played Major once. Now, even in the other series earlier today, we saw her adapting against Cham between the game that she lost and then Game 4. We saw her adapting against Neeb, and she's had an opportunity to play against Major this weekend. She's had a lot of opportunities to see him playing ZVT, and now let's see what she's learned.
Yes, indeed. I mean, already she's not going for an early gas pool. That's what she did against Major yesterday. Obviously, this is Gettysburg, so a very different map. We didn't see this map yesterday. We saw Galactic Process and also, remind me, ooh, I had it in my head like literally a moment ago.
Sejong.
Sejong, yes, because
That's
that was
the
the Hellbat attack. Yes, so Scarlett here is really sort of, we'll kind of, when we get to those maps, we'll obviously have a bit of an idea of how things are exactly changing. But for now, very standard from both players in the early stages. See a command center, a factory coming down here from Major, and Scarlett just setting up with link speed.
I love pointing out nuances, Wardy. And I just want to point out how cool Scarlett's Overlord rallies have been. Now, she's going to get denied by this Marine because Major did open with a Marine opening. Actually, no, there is a Reaper already out, but playing very defensively. But more importantly, this second Overlord, she sends it over here. This is a proxy location. It'll either be around here or around here. So she scouts these proxy locations and then redirects it to have a vision over this middle little bridge. So really cool small stuff. And I always love pointing that out because it's really small things like that that separate the good players from the great players.
I mean, every little advantage, right? If you lose less games to a proxy because of your Overlord scouting, that's less game. That's more games you win. It's just a better chance of not dying to something silly, and that's what the best players have to be. They have to make sure they're not ever going to get caught off guard. A few things moving forwards here. Actually, quite aggressive because the first Reaper didn't move across the map. To some extent, I wonder if Scarlett actually just assumed there wasn't a Reaper because she saw a Marine, which is very possible because, I mean, it could have just been two Marines. She only saw one of them. She saw nothing else. So, she moves out. She actually doesn't lose a Zerglin, which is really nice considering the fact that Reaper is there. And Reaper now actually loops around the top side. Major with a very fast 3CC, so just playing super kind of Gettysburg here. He's really playing to the map. It's a very macro-heavy map. You expect to see fast 3CC. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he uses this build now and then never again in the rest of the series.
Definitely. Now, going into Gettys, I am about 99.364% sure that Major will go mech. He's opening with the reactive Marines, but this is something we've seen Major's basic hero, TY, go for recently a couple of times, where he'll pump out a lot of Marines with no upgrades out of a single Rax before transitioning into mech on this map, because this is one of the maps where bio is very difficult to make work versus Zerg. But then mech, if you can survive to the point where you've got maybe the island, you've got all of these bases of tanks set up, mech can become very, very strong on this map. And already we have a Viking that's not necessarily indicative of mech, but you would always get a Viking with mech to sort of clear out the Overlords. And this initial push from Major or Poke with the 6 Marines in the mine, not likely to get too much done, but it's just him trying to be active on the map with the units that he has.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing these few units coming in towards the third base. I mean, they shouldn't get too much done. Queen's gathering together here from Scarlett. The Ling's actually going to start running in. Oh, Widowmine shot is huge. That's a nice few Zerglings that get killed off there.
8,
so
wow.
See these Queens just backing away now. Yeah, that's nice. 8 kills is really sick. So just going to be seeing these few units just continue to move around. Major still just looking for opportunities right now. These couple of Zerglings taking some damage.
These Marines can actually get a little bit more done now that those Lings have been thinned out. Not in the way of economic damage, but they're forcing out 12 more Lings, or just 6 larvae worth of Zerglings. That's a fair bit of droning that Scarlett's lost. In this tournament, we've seen how much she loves to get up to a nice, comfortable drone count early on. Behind this, she is going to go Roaches, and this is definitely her playing to Major, because she does not like playing Roaches in this matchup. She doesn't feel like Roach Ravager is very good anymore, or at least that she's not very good at it. And Major, though, going for mech, 100% confirmed. This could be her looking to hit a timing with 2-2, or this could just be her looking to gear up for just a later stage macro-oriented, perhaps like Hydras, Vipers, things like that, if Major opts to go to the skies.
Yeah, so this is, it's interesting, right? Like, the kind of the Roach speed and the upgrades and just playing Roaches already going up against Major. It's good. Scarlett's got a good read on this. She's expecting this from Major. This does scare me, because this is the sort of setup where this game starts to take like an hour or something, because with mech on this map, he says very good, it's a split, it's split map heaven. And that's probably what Major is going to be looking for here. And he's playing fairly aggressively now, yes, of course, because he may as well try and get damage done. But if Scarlett defends, as she should be able to, she shouldn't just die, then this is going to go long. It is going to be drawn out. It's going to be very, very testing on these players. And the endurance of these players is definitely going to be tested too, because if you think about this, like the first game, imagine you get into this like massive long game that takes so long. That's so draining in terms of like mental capacity and so on. And then you have to play an entire rest of best of 7.
Yeah, and actually I was talking to one of the CS casters because they're on break right now, or they were a few minutes ago, and he was like, oh yeah, you guys are probably going to finish before us. I'm like, nah, we're playing Major versus Scarlett in a best of 7. This might go long, man. So this will be interesting for sure. We've got double Liberator production, double tank production. We have upgrades coming in for the ground vehicle weapons as well as the vehicle and ship plating level 1. Major doing a good job just clearing up some creep and being active with these units, having already gotten that cancel on the 4th earlier on. And, well, Hydra Den is on the way up. Infestation Pit is on the way up as well.
So what's the general composition you're aiming for here as a Zerg player? Like, how many Locusts do you want? You know, how many Vipers do you want? How early do you want to hit those Vipers? Is there anything specific from Major that maybe will influence Scarlett's specific composition at this stage?
I'm really not entirely sure what Scarlett's game plan is yet. I would be very surprised if we saw Lurkers come out. But, you know, this could still be a 2-2 timing with Ling Hydra with a transition into Vipers later on. And, of course, or she could go a little bit later than 2-2, maybe with 3 Vipers or so to try to land some Blinding Clouds on the tanks. Either of those would be viable options. So we'll see what it is. Major opting for a 4th base, again on location here, floating out this Rax to be able to have some good vision on the middle of the map. Tanks do get forward, but Major is too good to lose either of those. Gets a really good shell off on a few of those roaches and picks up without losing any actual health on the tanks. Now this, pretty scary army to maybe start a soft contain.
Yeah, I mean, this is when you start setting up in the middle of the map. Look at that 4th base position in Major. That's a 4th base, which is really, really, really just saying, I'm going to set up on the watchtower, and we are going to split this map in half and play for quite some time. Scarlett's on, okay, well, continuing to expand up to this top side, but Major actually going very aggressive to the top side. I didn't maybe expect to see him to go this far, but it sort of makes sense. Scarlett's going to come in from the back, though. That's something Major has to be very, very cautious of at this point.
Here we go. A lot of the Ravagers expended their bios a little early on that rack, so she's not able to engage up there and try to get the corrosive bios onto those Liberators. Major inches on forward here. He's laying siege to the 4th base now. A few Marines in here, a few Hellbats as well. And this is not that many units, but it's a lot of very, very big, heavy-hitting units. 1-1 against 2-2 are the upgrades. And we'll see what can happen here. Major already getting some great tank shells. 20 more roaches in production. Both players maxed out at 9 minutes.
Yeah, this is a real kind of mech, kind of macro. Scarlett moving forward a little bit, trying to hit some biles. Nice biles, actually hitting a combo of tank and Liberator there, taking some damage. Look across the map, though, left-hand side. Scarlett with a counterattack. This is so good against mech because generally kind of reinforcements are going to be in fairly low numbers. And in this situation, she's picking off so many expensive tanks. Well, actually, she doesn't, but she should have done. I think that was a bit of a mistake by Scarlett trading with the Hellions instead. Nice abducts forward, so she's not quite going to get the kills on those medevacs. And she continues to try and push in. Scarlett's losing so much, though. Major's attack is being so successful.
Yeah, she was sitting in those tank shots, not attacking, kind of move commanding over to the side, not forward or back. And that was a problem. She took a lot of extra AoE damage from those tanks. She's also initially, now she's going to town on this extractor with the consume ability, but she took a lot of health off her own hatchery with the Vipers when they first popped out, which could prove to be fatal.
Yeah, at this point, Major is, well, even this kind of run by from Scarlett, not run by, but interception from Scarlett isn't working out. She's going to lose every single roach, not a single tank goes down, and Scarlett, it's only going to take a couple of tank shots for this base to die, and Major's making so much more progress, so much faster than I thought he would. Scarlett just did not have a good response to this at all, as we are going to be seeing those few units just backing away up the top side, picking off a tank or two. More tanks continue to push on forwards here, and I mean, Major just keeps on coming in with more units, and Scarlett just has absolutely no way of shutting this down. The Liberators as well make this very, very frustrating to play against. And you can just see a couple of Vipers abducting forwards. Those tanks were sieging, so that's a nice pick-off. But how do you fight this? You fight into tanks, you've got to try and pick up the 4. There's medevacs, and Scarlett's just going to type out GG. There's a quick drink of water. I mean, it's a frustrating one to lose to mech. I think a lot of Zerg players have frustrations playing against mech. I think everyone has frustrations playing against mech. It's not a fun player style to play against. Heavy, powerful units that do so much damage is absolutely insane. And it's so difficult to play against as well.
Now, one thing that Scarlett can be a little happy about is that it wasn't a long, drawn-out, painful 40-minute death. And you talked about how taxing something like that can be at the very beginning of a best of 7. And really, that would have been a bit of a nightmare, especially if she was playing Roach Hydra. It's so difficult to break that because what ends up happening for the Zerg player is you're sitting there, you can't attack in, and you just kind of sit there thinking, what am I doing with my life for the 40-minute duration of that game, and eventually you die. So a quick and painless death.
I mean, yeah, if there's one way to die to mech, it's to die before you waste 40 minutes of your life throwing units into siege tanks. I mean, but seriously, that's a good point because, I mean, no one wants to lose early, no one wants to lose at all. But on Gettysburg, it is a map which can go long, and so if you lose on Gettysburg, yeah, at least it wasn't long because it's, as you said, 40 minutes to then lose. It's like, oh, did that really happen? I just spent so long, nothing came of it. I didn't learn anything really. You know, it's not going to help me out on the other maps because no other map in this map pool is similar to Gettysburg in any way, shape, or form.
You can play mech on them, but as you said earlier, Gettys is the split map. Gettys is the Daybreak, and or the Akalon Wastes.
I mean, you take Galactic Process, that's a great mech map, but it's, you know, you can attack to the top side, to the right side, you can break down rocks, open attack paths, you can flank, and just set up so many more concaves. So, yeah, this is a good one, I feel, to get out of the way for Scarlett. Although game number 2 is not looking pretty for her. Dasan Station, we've talked about this so much this weekend, how Terran players love this map. I would love to see Scarlett win here, but what she needs to do is kind of difficult. She needs to survive into the mid-game, hit Ling Bei and Muta, I feel, and take some very good engagements.
This is really bad, actually, because I went into that first game thinking, you know, on paper, Gettys is one of the 2 maps that Zergs really like to play against Terran, but that's because almost nobody plays mech. So I was thinking to myself, it is a possibility that Major picked Gettysburg to be able to play his mech style, but with Dasan as the second map, that cements into my mind that Scarlett lost her first map pick, which is a very, very painful blow.
Yeah, this is, it's not going to be too fun. It really, really isn't. It's interesting. If Scarlett can win this, then I've got high hopes for the series. But if she starts 2-0 down, then maybe Major does start to take that momentum. I talked to Scarlett, and it was kind of funny because we talked about the kind of the map pool for TVZ right now, and she's like, hey, there's like 2 good maps for Zerg, and that's nice. It's just a shame that the other 5 are very good for Terran. Yeah,
and really, that's kind of the feeling of a lot of Zergs. You come into the map vetoes, and it's kind of nice that you get to play on those 2 good maps in the longer series, but in a best of 3, a lot like Scarlett was saying in the group stages, when she played against Major, she's like, yeah, he's just going to veto New Gettysburg and Apotheosis, and no matter what I veto, I'm playing on 3 Terran-favored maps. She's very set in that mindset that the map pool is very Terran-favored.
That said, Scarlett has always been one of those players like pre-Queen buff. Pre-Queen buff, Scarlett used to play King Sejong a lot, which was something no Zergs did against Terrans, like in Best of Threes, for example. So she's not super afraid of playing on those maps. But, well, we better introduce these players because Scarlett is the one who's going to really change things up because it's a proxy hatch.
I wasn't sure if this is going to be a 13 pool or a proxy hatch, but the defender in this case, he doesn't like SCV scouts. He doesn't really, and in the last game he made a Reaper and didn't even scout with the Reaper. Is he going to see this coming? Is he going to have a response? It is the red Terran player from Mexico, from Invasion Esport. It's Major.
Indeed, it is. And to the top left-hand side, it is going to be the pink Zerg player from Expert. It's Scarlett.
Alrighty, so this is now also a 14 pool follow-up. I'm not sure if she's going to be going for speed or just a cancel. I think she's actually just going to cancel. Getting a little bit of extra supply there. Now, Major, he'll know about the Overlord, but what else does he know about? Oh, he knows, actually.
Well, that's a good start. This is one of those weird builds, though, where proxy hatches so much of the time, because you don't play against them a lot anymore. 1 or 2 mistakes, and this very quickly becomes winnable still for Scarlett, despite it being scouted early on. Bunker on the low ground is probably one of the better responses, because spines are going to come up here, and you need something. Actually, I don't know if this bunker really comes up and becomes too useful.
I'm not a huge fan of the 3 spines. I kind of would have hoped for her to make 2 and then a bunch of lings to try to deny this, or try to tank some shots while the spines finish up. But either way, there's no way this one lone Marine is going to pick off 3 spine crawlers before they finish. And there are 2 lings popping out to try to get them what they can going out to the SCV. They will not get it in time. One of the lings falls. This Overlord is actually at risk as well. Actually, neither ling fell. Never mind. Good micro from Scarlett there. But these spines are finishing up, Wardy.
They are indeed, and well, it will take a lot of repairing to keep this bunker alive. Only 2 Marines isn't that much DPS. You can see how slowly this first spine crawler is falling. 2 spines already. Was that not one in the middle?
It was actually in range, but I think she wants it to be in range of the SCVs as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
important as the Lings swing around. They'll start to pick one off, forcing the other 3 away from the bunker.
Oh, where are the Marines going to go?
Yeah. Oh, no! The Marines are already forced away from the defense. The spines uproot immediately, and this is a really nice position for these spine crawlers.
And she has that high ground vision with this Overlord, so that's pretty huge as well. 1 spine is not going to go down. Major actually only has 1 Marine in there. I thought it was more, but that's actually the SCVs just going onto the other side now. So this bunker should, well, likely fall as well, unless he pulls some more SCVs.
I don't think there's enough surface area with the racks. He'd have to lift the racks up, and down
no.
it goes. Oh my God, Wardy, she's doing it.
Well, this Deepa was going to go down as well. Mage is now so supply blocked. This Rax is going to die as well. Penguin, didn't you believe it? The proxy hatchery is going to do what we've seen no one do.
And it was scouted.
Yeah. You know, oh, actually he's got a tank. This isn't over yet, but it's still looking very good for Scarlett.
Extremely good for Scarlett. Oh, the Queen barely goes down, but another spine comes up the ramp. GG's called.
So this is something that's really crazy because no one has really beaten a Terran player on Dasan. Yeah, we see you, Scarlett. We agree. It's pretty funny. She looks out to the crowd. She's like looking at Neve like, yeah, you can hold it, but he can't. Yeah, this is nice because we've talked all week around about Dasan being Terran favored. We've seen Zerx try to play on it unsuccessful. I mean, Eric came very close to beating Kalazar, but it didn't happen. So for Scarlett to take this after losing Gettysburg, this is so good for the momentum in the series, and for her to get one back after she lost her map pick.
Now I'm actually, like, my brain is melting a little bit because of how well planned out that build was. I'm actually not entirely sure that it was Major's map pick.
I mean, it's very...
It doesn't really matter that much, but pretty cool nonetheless.
No, it definitely was, because Apotheosis was definitely not Major's next map pick.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But we only just found that out now. So it is kind of one of those things where it could have been like a really weird set of maps, but this is definitely looking as though it's Scarlett's map pick once again. So Scarlett's chance to take the lead. And we're going to be jumping into Apotheosis right now. Well, this is, I mean, this could be time for some Sky Terran play it. Long time for Proxy free, Rax free. But I mean, you can do so many different
do a lot.
things.
I really feel like this is one of the maps where Major is going to play Bio, just because mech on this map is very difficult unless you're going Cyclone Hellion, and he's not a huge fan of Cyclone Hellion. He'll throw it out every now and then, but he's the guy who likes the tanks. He's the guy that likes the Hellbats, and I feel like this is going to be one where Major does go for Bio.
He did use Hellion Cyclone yesterday against Scarlett to some extent, but it was maybe reactive to what was happening in the game.
I believe it was, because the game was kind of already over at that point.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're going to kick things off into Apotheosis. Are you guys ready? I hope you are. Don't forget to get out there, spread the word, tell everyone our grand finals are live here at the WESG America Regional Finals. And we have 2 amazing players. To the top left-hand side, our red Terran. From Invasion Esports, it's Major.
Going for a gas first.
That's not too crazy.
It's not
nowadays.
too crazy, but it's always interesting. It generally means we're not going to see a 2-1-1, which doesn't surprise me because Major kind of hates 2-1-1s.
Yeah. All right.
And in the bottom right, we've got the Queen of Blades herself, the Queen of Spines in the last game from Canada. It's going to be the Pink Zerg player, Expert Scarlett. I want to give a short shout out quick just to the StarCraft fans and viewers, because you know what, Wardy?
What?
StarCraft's the most viewed WESG game right now.
You know why that is?
Because it's the best game. But I want you guys to do what Wardy said. Get out there, tell everybody about this awesome match. Because you know what a great way of convincing WESG that they should just continue to run StarCraft tournaments is? By giving them awesome viewership.
By beating every other game.
By beating everyone.
We beat Hearthstone so hard they quit early, like 5 hours ago.
Yeah, we finished before Dota. They just gave up.
Oh, man. All right, then. This is... I mean, the gas first is just for Reaper Expand, right?
Yeah.
2 SCVs moving out, just an
I
SCV
believe
Scout
this
and
is just
Expand.
an SCV Scout,
okay.
especially after the last game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you just don't want to take any more risks. You don't want to lose anything to be silly. That said, I mean, SCV Scout last game, found the hatchery, didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, he's just going to gas first Reaper Expand. It means the factory comes up right now as well, and that's exactly what we expect from someone like Major, who does like to play factory-based follow-ups. He does like to play Hellions. He does like to play maybe fast Banshees, even if he wants to play Bio later. He likes to play that Hellion Banshee. Maybe he throws in a Hellbat attack here on Apotheosis.
I really like the idea to go Hellions on Apotheosis just because one of the things we talk about on this map so much is just how it's so unbelievably long. And while that does mean, of course, the Hellions aren't going to be as effective as they would be on Frozen, it still is a lot more effective than anything else just because they can get across the map a lot faster than most other units.
Most definitely. We do see this SCV from Mages. Scouting early. Just going to be moving across. Another thing as well is it's not super common in Apotheosis because the rush system, but he just wants to make sure that it isn't a pull first, right, to try and cancel the CC or delay it or something. So that's a nice thing to SCV scout for on any map, actually, if you're going to be moving across with the Reaper. But Apotheosis, especially because of the multiple attack pathways, it's very easy for the Lings to avoid the Reaper.
It really is. There's so many attack paths on this map. It's insane. Which makes this a great Scarlett map because she absolutely loves her run-bys. She's incredible at the Lingbane Muta, and we have Cloak Banshees, or at least Banshees.
Yeah, we do. So this is going to be pretty nifty. The Tech Lab coming up in the barracks allows the Starport to swap on over there. And that just means Hellion Banshee. Again, it could be Hellbat Banshee as well. I like it because in the best of 7, you definitely want to change up your builds on each map. And while Apotheosis isn't the best aggressive map, Hellion Banshee is fast. So if you're going to go for, if you're going to go for anything aggressive, actually a Hellbat attack could be very popular on this. I know Björn, actually out of all the maps, loves to play on Apotheosis the Hellbat Banshee attack because
he does it on Apotheosis and Gettys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's just Björn. Oh, it's going to be a Liberator. Oh, we're going to see, like, range lives?
Oh, God, that's so old school.
But no Fusion Core yet.
Not yet. This is going to be weird, but maybe just a Banshee follow-up. Now, this Reaper is getting so much value. It's not actually killing any drones or Lings, but I feel like, especially against somebody like Scarlett, the biggest value you can get out of this Reaper, of course, is scouting and the denial on the creep. And we saw Major already deny one creep tumor here. He can click on the Queen, see it's going to be about 5 seconds before the next creep tumor. Not that he'll get it because of the Lings being able to finally shut this down, but still, good stuff for Major. He gets a good trade on that Reaper.
Yep, a couple of Hellions on the way up right now out of this factory, so a couple of Hellions coming in. Double Evo Chamber is going to drop down right now for Scarlett as she makes 20 Lings. Just to defend Hellions, or is she just looking to be a bit aggressive at the same time?
With the drones coming in as a follow-up and the Evos, I believe this is almost definitely just to defend the Hellions. Major is so good at his Hellion control that you'd rather be safe than sorry.
That's a lot of Lings.
It is a lot of Lings. Well, 20 is not that much more than you would generally get. Oh, ho, ho! That's some good value right there. Major's Hellions begging for mercy. Scarlett's Lings saying, I feel nothing.
Yeah, they are brutal. They surround those. The Hellions go down so fast. Immediate counterattack, which is nice as well, because there isn't a lot here. Forces the wall, and you never know when the wall is down. Scarlett's just going to look for that opportunity to move in right now. She goes into Roach upgrades once again, so maybe expecting something at this point, because actually on this map, especially Roach upgrades on, like, Lingbane Muta Heaven. What's going on, Penguin?
This is definitely going to be weird. I really do feel like this is her just adapting to Major's playstyle. And this Liberator really isn't getting much done. 2 more on the way on out now. Maybe he'll manage some more, but this is almost definitely going to be mech with this many Liberators coming in.
Yeah, at this point it looks as though it's probably going to be like, maybe mech and maybe Sky Terran. Like,
nothing makes sense anymore, Wardy.
Yeah, it could be either or. There's the Armory, so
Great
definitely could be Hellbats. That
this,
makes sense. Third base coming down. Yeah, that's really important to know as well, because usually it hit the Queens, and the Queens just move away, and it's like, oh, well, I just wasted 2 shots of the Liberator, and that's a drone kill. So target firing is much better. And, yeah, Lair's on the way up, Road Drone coming down. Scarlett's playing already to prepare for what Major is doing. And I like this. And I don't know if whether she's just seen sort of the amount of Hellions. She's like, okay, I know what you're doing now. Prepare for it already. Or if it's something else. Either way, this Liberator siege is up again, and this one's going to get another kill. As the Queen going to come around the side and just start to poke away.
Oh,
the Liberator.
Scarlett. Okay.
She knows. She knows. Scarlett pays too much attention. Ling's going to try and counterattack in towards the natural mineral line. The Hellions are way out of position, but the Depot comes up in time. Nice reaction from Major. Look how many Hellions there are. That's why you need those roaches.
Oh, man. The Hellions come in for a bit of a flank. The Lings at the back do die, getting revenge for their fallen brethren earlier on in the game. But most of the Lings get out with their lives. They do, of course, move slightly faster than Hellions, so they can't escape. Roaches coming on out. 1-1 finishing on up. No upgrades just yet for Major. And given that, okay, there we go. Ship weapons.
Yeah, I think this was really looking to be Sky Terran right from the get-go. It's a weirdly good map for Sky Terran because of the narrow pathways make the Liberators so effective, and then the Hyperflight Rotor Banshees can zoom around everywhere despite it being a large map.
I'm sorry, but in my world, Hyperflight Rotor is a curse word, so please don't say that on air.
Oh man, we can see these Hellbats coming in. Roaches and Ravages just going to be cleaned up. This is nice. The Liberators at distance are kind of a little bit annoying though. Ravages want to move in here and try to drop some battles. Liberator can unsiege it's going to be pushed back to Spore to the left-hand side, helping with that as well. And, well, these Hellbats, they don't move too quickly compared to Ravagers and Roaches. And you can just see that Scarlett's defending this very nicely. Lings across again, just trying to see what's up, but well, obviously doesn't want to fight those Hellions and just backs away. May just try and stop these Hellbats from getting out.
He's lost so much right now. 925 to about 2k resources once all those go down. That's really, really bad, actually, because Mech is supposed to be like, okay, you're down in supply, but your units are more efficient. And it's been neither. I mean, he's been down in supply, and his units have been less efficient, which is awful. 2-2 starting on up, Infestation Pit as well. No Hydrodon this time, which is unfortunate for her, I feel, because Roach Hydra timing, oh, there we go. But a Roach Hydra timing of 2-2 might be a great way to deal with this before the critical mass of air is out.
I mean, that said, she just has so many use here already. Crossbar's actually going to go on this depots that are built, and I thought she might save them for the Liberators that are just behind. But she's got a really good aggressive position to use right now. So pushing forwards these Roaches and Ravagers, looking to see what they can do. Banshee comes in now. That's the sort of thing that Scarlett cannot fight against at the moment until Hydra start to come out.
I love the pick on the gas. Of course, with Mech, gas is so, so critical.
Yeah, most definitely. And we can just see that there's something in the third base of Scarlett the Gulbis, Scarlett the Liberators. Well, that's going to be annoying. Spores build though, so they will get rid of it. To the right-hand side, some Hellions going to intercept some Lings as well. Just nice map control actually from Major, stopping Scarlett from getting too much done.
Yeah, it didn't go his way at the very beginning, but he's doing a great job to get value out of the units that he already has. I always love, the best thing with Mech is you just kind of have this super overlord that's the barracks, just floats wherever you want, gives you a great amount of vision. And, well, Hellions are going to try to pop on over to the left-hand side. What is there to defend? Oh my god, there's nothing to defend.
Yeah, indeed there isn't, as we see Liberators are still being annoying over here, just finding the openings. Those Hellions run on through. Where are the Roaches, man? They are non-existent.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is a bit of an understatement, Penguin, because that's a lot of drones going down. 8 workers already, and the thing is, these Hellions aren't taking any damage, so they just start to get out of there as well. At least a few of them will. 13 workers, 4 Hellions remain alive. Great little pick-off by Major, and that's the sort of thing
but
he wants.
Wardy, it's Scarlett. It doesn't matter. She's going up to 99 drones. What?
Oh, no way. I mean, this is typical Scarlett, though. Like, I'm just going to make about 20 more workers than anyone else. She does this when she defends 2-1-1. She's like, you know what, I'm just going to make like 10 extra workers than anyone else, then still hold it just the same, and then be like, thanks for kind of giving me a free win, because I just have so much economy already.
Now, something I really appreciate out of Major is that he's being nice. You know, he's not getting Hyperflight Rotors yet. But this is still a scary push. 9 Liberators.
So look at the Vipers.
Yeah, the Vipers are going to come out, but Major is too good to clump these up. Parasitic Bomb won't be good. Only one of the lids goes down. Oh my god, the carnage!
And this is why she made 97 workers
Oh
before.
my God.
And this as well. I mean, it's nice for Major. He wants to shut down economy, but at least Scarlett doesn't drop down to nothing. 42 workers killed. We expect that to rise throughout the game, providing it does continue on for a while, which at this rate, it definitely is looking like. You see some Roaches, Hellions, Roaches and Hellions, Roaches and Hydras, just pushing away Hellions to the right side. Viper's looking forward. Even just abducts back into the Hydralist right now could be nice, and there's one Banshee getting abducted straight away.
Trading energy for resources, obviously a great trade almost any day of the week. Finally, the Fusion Core is coming in. This will almost definitely be for, I would imagine, probably Advanced Ballistics first, and then Hyperflight Rotos, although you can get both of them. Actually, he has so many starports, he'll just get them both at the same time. 6
Vikings on the way up at a time. So starting to get to that point where he needs something in front of all the rest of the units just to make sure he can get rid of the Vipers. So if you can shoot down the Vipers, then it's much more, well, it's less cost effective from Scarlett, obviously. And that's what he's got to be aiming for right now, as we see 5 more Vikings being out on Liberator coming in through the left-hand side here. Spore shoots it down, though, so not too much of an issue there. More command centers coming up.
Nice
There's a big pick-off comes in from Scarlett. I mean, that's exactly the sort of position you want to be in. Bunch of Hellions falling down. And I like Scarlett, what Scarlett's got going for herself here, you know. She's got Bank. She's been picking off and trading very effectively throughout. And honestly, if she fights like before Advanced Ballistics, before Hyperflight Rotors, she might just end the game.
Yeah, that might be the timing she's looking for here. Of course, she doesn't know what the exact timing is, but another free pickoff as the Liberator goes down. The racks in the middle of the map might finally
Huge pickoff
fall.
on the racks.
Ooh. And actually, this is a nice catch for Major. Of course, Hydras are the counter, quote-unquote, to Sky units. But, you know, when there's that many Banshees and that few Hydras, good trade for Major. But here he goes. He's running. He's desperately running. But the Vipers are coming in from behind. If they can get some abducts off, every single unit is so critical for Major right now.
Yeah, as this push starts to come on forwards, will Scarlett go up the ramp? Well, yes, she will, but there's the Liberator starting to set up, and that's exactly when the Vipers should come in. As parasitic bomb, but very easily split away. That was like
straight away.
That was like as the parasitic bomb was heading to the Liberator still. That was absolutely insane. It was as though he sort of just expected it to happen, I think, as well. Vikings coming forwards, there's one Viper not quite going down, but so close once again.
And it's full energy as well. She's got to be careful and babysit that a bit.
Now, Scarlett has just made Aspire, and she will want to go into Corruptors here in the near future, I'd imagine, to stretch into kind of a later stage anti-army of, a later stage kind of way to fight this rather than sticking on Hydras, because once Lib range is up, Hydras melt so quickly to those Liberators, which are just unreachable.
Yeah, and Liberators do one-shot Hydralisks, so that is very, very important. Another Parasitic Bomb kind of whiffing here. That's a very expensive spell. I do feel like it might be better if she was just going for Abducts rather than the Parasitic Bombs. And she is getting a big bank. This is not an army composition that you can really throw units into and just try to remax and kill. You need to just kind of slowly but oh, that was a good Parasitic Bomb. Oh my god, there's still a Viking in the middle.
Huge Parasitic Bomb. Those Vikings are taking so much damage. Major is really making a bit of a mistake there. I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter because they stay alive and you can repair it, but still...
It's still gas and minerals to repair.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, it still is. And actually, Scarlett picks up a base there, which is nice. Penguins, your favorite units.
Hyperflight Rotor Banshees. But you know what my second favorite, or my second favorite thing in the world is? Hyperflight Rotor Banshees dying to Queens, and one of them did.
So you're like a semi-happy Penguin right now?
I'm pretty happy. This is a great, and we're in Brazil. We're casting an amazing match. Scarlett doesn't get a cancel, which makes me a little bit less happy. But overall, this is a great game so far. It's turtle mech, but it's active at the same time. So that's what I love about watching Major play. He's always trying to get something done. Throwing away a bit of supply there in those Hellenes. He doesn't need them anymore. A lot of spores coming up. And really, in this kind of a war of attrition, you're just trying to trade more efficiently, expecting that there's a decent possibility that every resource on the map will probably be gone at some point.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, when I think about Skytown on this map, the obvious game is Marine Lord versus Nurture DreamHack Valencia in the finals. That was like an insane 45-minute TVZ with this sort of composition. Oh, man. It was so close. It came down to everything.
Parasitic Bombs. Another one goes off. Oh, actually, two of them. So many lives going down right now. This is a bit of a disaster, but the Hydras are... Oh, my God. Actually,
they're killing everything.
Everything is dying, but there's no more detection.
Well, yeah, that's nice. That's like a saving grace at this point. You lost everything other than the Banshees. I mean, the Banshees do trade pretty well in the end and saves it. You see a bit of an attack up the right side, top right side. Is that just a couple of roaches? Yeah, Liberators are going to save the day on that one. Forces a kill on the CC. I mean, that's nice. The Banshees are the biggest issue now, and that's where Corruptors really come into play. They can't chase Hyperflight Road Banshees, but they stop them from standing there and chasing your army down.
And then if the tech switch comes out to more Liberators or something like that that's not more Hyperflight Rotor Banshees, you can morph them into Broodlords if you feel like there's a situation where they would be better. Actually, with one of these uncloaked, she can Parasitic Bomb it, but Major having a bit of trouble dealing with that spell so far in this game.
Yeah, we saw 12 Vipers just being added on. Scarlett realizing that the Parasitic Bombs are going to be a very important way for her to continue to pick away at these units throughout the game. Supplies are dead even. That last fight started so well for Scarlett, but it really did turn around when those Banshees survived and the Banshees started to do so much. The lack of an Overseer there really, really hurt, as we
14
see.
Vipers.
That's a lot.
That's an absurd number.
Yeah, it's almost kind of too many. Actually, she could probably do with like a few more Corruptors at this point already.
She's not maxed though, so she's
obviously. She just needs more money, which is surprisingly hard to come by at this point, just considering she's on 81 drones.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the bases do start mining out. We'll take a look. The main is gone. The natural is running very dry. The gold is running very dry. Even the space over here is down to just 5 mineral patches.
I mean, it's kind of expected, right? Majors run into the same issue as well, and it gets harder to defend these. Yeah, it gets harder to defend each of these bases as well.
He had a dream, Wardy.
He wanted to kill the one star.
They also had dreams. Unfortunately.
Well, Hellbat's even doing it on the map anymore. He's still making a couple of Hellions at a time. I mean, he may as well use the mineral jump if he needs it. But these Hellbats so far aren't really doing anything. I don't think we've seen Hellbats do or Hellions do anything in this game for 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, those are all going to go down. And well, Major is just basically clearing up supply anyways. It's not a big deal that he's losing a couple of resources here and there. Major is looking to establish his 7th base over on this location. Moving forward, this one is going to be a very, very exposed base, so it's going to be easy for Scarlett to potentially harass this, or at least maybe even take it out. That's a giant fleet of Banshees, though. Holy Christ.
Yeah, and we see the Liberators and Vikings moving down the right side as well. Major looking to force another engagement here very, very soon. Scarlett makes 10 Overseers. She's had enough of Banshees killing and everything after a fight. Queen's mixed into this. Again, Hellions are used to die, which is not really achieving anything. One Liberator goes down. I mean, any little pick, because it is a war of attrition, eventually here, most likely. So losing one Liberator for free isn't a good thing. And it seems as though Scarlett's getting more of those free pickoffs than Major is.
At the moment, for sure, but this is a big move out with these high-play Roto Banshees. In comes the
The
fleet of Overseers.
If only the Overseers could actually fight. How many is there? That's insane, but the parasitic bombs go down, the Banshees disappear. I don't actually think
God.
Well, for a moment I was like, the dubs actually don't help, but then the Corruptors kill everything. That was a big fight, a hyper-fight Roto Banshees, but guess what? They just disappeared. Major is on 24,000 resources lost to 16,000. And that is the sort of fight which turns everything around and gives Scarlett so much chance to move forwards.
Yeah, and she's going to go with the Caustic Spray here on the 7th base, trying to deal with it. Nice pre-splits coming out of Major, trying to do what he can. There's so many Vipers, it doesn't even matter. Look how much damage is going to be dealt with this. Some good splitting coming out of Major, but still, Corruptors are going to go with, oh, they were very, very clumped. And against these +2 Liberators, that was not a great trade for Scarlett, but she did deny the base.
I think you thought there was a bit more there for Scarlett than there actually was because of all the Overseers. It was like, there's so much Scarlett. Just about 2/3 of it is actually only detected and nothing else.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell.
Yeah, it's like, is there 10 Corruptors here or 20? No one really knows, neither does Major until he wins the fight.
Well, she did lose an Overseer, so she's down to only 19. She's got to be careful to not lose those 19 Overseers.
She should really remake that now before she forgets to kind of, you know. I've got nightmares, man, about these Overseers. A couple of Banshees clean up the roaches. It's just consistent little bits of harassment around the map that are just going to keep on slowing each other down, you know. And again, it's all about slowing each other down because at this point, if both players mine out, it's about whoever's kind of mines out kind of first, I guess.
Yeah,
sorry,
really,
I messed that up.
The most important statistic in a game like this is this resources lost counter right here, because if they do split the map, if they mine out the map and they each mine out 8 bases, which is what they have on theirs, they will have the same amount of resources and eventually they will be starved out. Major is supposed to be the player who's trading more efficiently, and it's not working out so far.
I'm actually worried if Major can't take the base to the right side because he has to like focus on one base at a time. And that might become problematic as these Banshees, they do manage to get away, or at least most of them do. One goes down. We're going to see, Liberators are coming in, and right away we're going to be seeing a big fight starting up. Parasitic bombs over all of the Vikings. The splash helps so much. Now Major tries to split, but it's just too late. The Corruptors are trading so well, and Scarlett is showing us that she has this kind of playstyle against this Sky Terran on lockdown.
Look at the Bank of Major. There is no Bank of Major. Oh, this is a disaster right now for him. Another little fight over here. Never mind, that's the red on the mini-map. It's just a bunch of fake Marines. A little bit of hype for nothing, but at this point...
That is the most trolly thing as an observer.
I wish it showed up as the other player's color, not gonna lie.
It's really frustrating. We're going to see these Corruptors going to caustic spray down this base once again. Bit of deja vu here, only this time the Corruptors will not die straight afterwards. So
yeah, there's nothing to fight them right now. The army right now, just not really a thing.
A few Hellions, actually, Fight Rose to the right side, they get taken down pretty quickly, so Banshee's still not being successful.
Oh my god, look at that.
That was 5,000. There was a difference of 5,000 there the last time we looked. In 2 minutes, it's increased to 10,000 resources lost difference. Scarlett's 2 bases up as well. She's mining off of 15 more workers.
She basically has map hacks enabled with this creep spread as well.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
At this point, Major has absolutely nothing going for him anymore. It's at this point where even kind of looking for a good engagement from Major is unlikely.
Queens are 2/3 of the way across Apotheosis.
That's just standard CVT. It's like those Queens actually set out at the start of this game. That's what you don't realize. They've been walking here for 20 minutes.
March the Queens, man. They've got to migrate.
A few more creep tumors going down. I mean, that's some progress for Major,
so
but I mean, trading Banshees for creep tumors is again not really what you want to do. And Scarlett, at this point, could probably move Commander Army around and then rebuild and just go again. Oh, she could morph in another 20 Overseers.
I think that she should, at this point, once she realizes the game is over, she should just keep mining out the game and just try to max out, like try to get the most Overseers physically possible.
What happens when you crash StarCraft and then the admin decides to regame because the game wasn't over?
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
It's like resume from replay breaks because it's still the amount of Overseers.
What have we done to deserve this?
Yeah, that'd be pretty dumb. I don't think that's going to happen. Scarlett at
Martin's
this point...
a pretty good admin. He wouldn't do that.
No, are you sure you haven't done anything bad to him throughout the weekend to annoy him? Because then
Well,
he'd get his
we
own
did
bag.
just send him on like a quest to find Red Bull. Maybe he wasn't too keen on that.
A few Hellions again. Actually, they're going to move into Hellbats. Probably the most successful Hellions we've seen for a long time because they're actually going to kill a drone, which sounds a bit stupid, but they're going to kill a drone. Please kill a drone. Yes, they do. Same time, kind of another fight over here. I mean, an orbital running into Corruptors, that's not really helping. It's trying to be repaired, but there's just too much damage here. I mean, that orbital goes down and Parasite Bombs once again. Look at the Parasite Bombs. The splash damage is huge. The Corruptors are trading. There's not enough Liberators for splash damage at this point, and the Vikings just keep on dropping. As moving on forward, Scarlett has way too much, maxed out against 100 supply Major. This is not looking pretty at all for our Terran player, and Scarlett is going to be the first player in the series to win their own map pick, and that means a lot. GG, 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 grand finals here in the WESG.
Man, she's got to be really happy with herself after that. She does not like playing against Mech. And she was feeling kind of lost against Mech when I talked to her earlier today. She said, I just don't really know how to play against it. Apparently, she knows how to play against it.
I actually think, when she says mech, though, does she not mean like actual mech instead of Sky Terran?
I'm pretty sure all those units are mechanical, Wardy.
Yeah, but they're very, I'd say they're very
you.
differently defined kind of things.
That is very, very true. She may be more comfortable against that. And Sky Terran is a lot less common.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like it's suboptimal to the point where if you're playing at the same level, or if both players are playing close to optimally, it cannot win.
Yeah, no. I think looking at that game as well, she looked like she knew exactly what she needed to do. Like, was there a point where it really looked scary for her? There was a couple of fights which were close and even.
It looked a little scary when she lost 32 workers until we looked at the worker count and realized she still had 78.
Yeah, for about 10 seconds we were like, oh my god, she's got more economy still. All right, well, Scarlett looking calm as ever. A little bit of a grin on her face. I think she knows that it's going pretty well for her. Frozen Temple now. So this is Major's map pick, and well, for Frozen Temple, I mean, it's one of those maps which do go either way generally. I mean, Free Rack Sweeper is very good, but we have sort of discussed here that Major isn't the biggest fan of playing Free Rack Sweeper.
Yeah, Major really doesn't like a lot of the standard builds. The 2-1-1 on this map is extremely strong as well because it hits at 4 minutes 50 if it's done optimally, but Major really doesn't like that build, so you won't be seeing that. We won't be seeing that out of him either, almost definitely. This is a map where I would definitely not recommend going mech just because a timing push would just be so hard to hold because the rush distance is so short. If you can survive a timing push, then it's very choky and it's nice, but can you survive a timing push?
If you can, I guess if you like get ahead, then playing mech can be sort of okay because it is an easy free base to take. But even the fourth base is difficult to take.
Yeah.
Like with mech, like it's a little bit off to the side, and that's not what you want as mech. And there's a lot of pathways in to attack, and it is a short map as well. I mean, it does benefit mech it being a short map because then you push and it's like, oh my god, the mech army's arrived after 2 seconds. But we shouldn't see that yet. I think the main question is, does Major free rack sweeper? I don't think he does. If he doesn't, then we're just going to see a pretty silent game, and we might see Scarlett go Ling Bane Muta for the first time this series.
If he does go 3-rack sweeper, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that it's going to be proxied.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty fair assumption because it's one of those things which he doesn't like doing, and I assume he doesn't therefore like the follow-up, so if he wants to do it, he's going to be like all in. If this doesn't work, it's over, but if it does work, it's going to work very quickly.
All right, well, I love my Ling Bane Muta, so I'm hoping that this girl over in the top left will be showing us some of that awesome play this game. It's the Queen of Blades, turning it around from a 1-0 deficit to now having a 2-1 lead from Canada, from Expert. It is Scarlett.
Such a... Well, I'd say Scarlett had a pretty dominating weekend as well, apart from her group stage match against Major. I mean, she dropped a map to Cham, and actually the Cham series got a little bit close at times, but... You know, then she dropped a map as well against Need, and that was a pretty close series too, but she always keeps on winning, as we have to the bottom right-hand side. Our red town player from Invasion Esports is Major.
Now, Expert is... I mean, they're not really a new team because they are Acer, but they're newish, kinda. Expert as a brand is new, and I kind of want to just give a shout-out to how awesome their jersey is.
Isn't it so cool?
Isn't it so
Do you know,
good?
that's
I
only-
love the orange and the black.
That's
It's
only
great.
one of the 2 designs. They also have a white version, which also
Yes, I
looks
have
really
seen it.
sick.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, they both look so good.
Acer had a couple of jerseys that just honestly looked kind of terrible.
remember
Just because it's
those-
hard to make lime green work.
Do you remember those Acer hoodies that were like bright green?
Yeah, lime
like-
green is very difficult to make work, but
It's-
I love the colors of Expert, and
It's like
they're doing a good job with their clothing.
waking up, putting on GSTL, and almost vomiting from the sight
Wow,
of the
wasn't that
GSTL.
bad, Wardy? Jesus.
Oh, it's the last thing I wanted to see when I wake up. Like, my eyes explode with, like, the lime green in my face. Anyways, we're going to be seeing a reactor coming on down here. It's a factory-based follow-up on the expansion of Major. So, again, as we expect from Major, he's playing pretty sound. What is important to note is this factory is away from the reactor, so it's not going to be Hellions. And this is most likely to be that sort of outdated build, actually, with the Widow Mine drop. But we might not even get there, because Scarlett's had
man.
enough of playing Matt Curry games.
If he goes for the Widowmine drop and Scarlett doesn't mess up, I'm pretty sure he's gonna die, because this looks like it's one of those. This is a Roach Ling build that I'm pretty sure this is the Roach Ling build that's been or at least the Roach Pressure build that's been used here and there on the Korean, not the Korean server so much, but like in the Korean tournaments, where every now and then, against a player who doesn't scout very much like Major, we'll have players like Dark or Rogue just make like 8 roaches, run them across the map, and suddenly the Terran just doesn't actually have any units.
So we actually saw Eric doing an attack like this in the match against Major as well, and he should have won, because maybe not should have won, but he should have done so much damage, and then he just lost everything to like 2 Widow Mines. And that's pretty cool, but only 3 roaches, so maybe just Ravager pressure.
Yeah, this is actually not a Roach Ling build because there's no speed, so this is not an all-in. This is a pressure build at the very most, I believe. It has to be a pressure build. There's no way she's making defensive Ravagers
Well,
for
she's-
no reason.
yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, when you make these Ravagers, you're definitely going to move across the map in the end, so... I mean, it's nice because she can kind of kite away against
He
Marines
sees
with
a
this.
Ravager. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
really
a
nice.
good scout
Starts a
from
bunker
Major.
immediately on the low ground as well.
The
Actually, you might
Lings-
be able to deny that.
Nope, too many.
I mean, with the Ravagers,
Ah, very true. A couple of them are already almost here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be close, Wardy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I guess the Lings will kind of, the Marine story will kind of force the Ravagers to kite back a bit, and that should buy time for the bunker. But look how fast the Marines die, man. 3
One
Ravagers
volley
a hit.
from these 3 Ravagers will kill
There's
the Oh,
one.
he dodges out of the way, the SCB.
SCV's a hero, man. He knows what he needs to do, knows where to build, and see another few bars going down. It's not quite going to kill it.
Those biles were so close.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. All right, so the good thing for Scarlett here is that she can still get rid of that depot on the high ground, and that's going to be a small victory. She's picked off a few Marines as well already. Does not get SCV. I thought that was about to go down. So that's nice. So, I mean, gets to the depot. Supply blocks Major. That's bad because Major only just started supply depots now, and he should have seen that coming.
And this was intended to be an aggressive build by Major with the tanks. I think this is going to be one of these builds where he either went for the double tank drop with 8 Marines over on this side, or goes for the tank siege up down here and tries to push towards the natural and the third kind of simultaneously. That being said, Scarlett's also hindered her own macro by going for this aggressive build. She didn't really get damage done per se directly, so I don't think she's particularly far ahead, but that supply block definitely hurts Major, delays the second tank, and he's going to have to switch up what he was planning on doing, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. We see a couple of Evo chambers coming down right now from Scarlett. We see a hatchery being added on as well at the third base. Look at that bunker. Really wants
This
to
was
apply some
definitely
pressure.
supposed to be the 2-tank push.
Yeah.
But that medevac is so much later, and the tank couldn't be produced because of the supply block. Actually, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, it is indeed. These Marines going to push up here. There's that tank evac coming across to reinforce this. I mean, actually, the bunker being up here is huge because I don't know how Scarlett breaks a bunker, especially with a tank coming to support very soon as well. I mean, I guess she's got the Ravagers, so she will make it through eventually. But having used the biles on the bunker rather than the Marines will slow her down.
Yeah, this is going to be very awkward with the tank coming in. Of course, one of the Ravagers being so low, it can die very easily. The salvage comes down to the bunker.
Oh, it's going to survive.
barely doesn't burn down.
Yeah, that's really nice, getting the 75 minutes back. It's just a little thing, but it does add up. Look how much damage on the third base, though. Scarlett, does she have to commit into this? She loses
She
one
doesn't
Ravager.
have any transfuses. She
Yeah.
might get 1, maybe 2 if she's lucky. Oh, there we go. She has 1 more.
Oh, but she's just not going to have the DPS. She needs to get rid of the Marines in time. She will push forwards with the Broodlings. She'll pick off all of those Marines, which is nice, or at least the majority of them. Liberator into the natural expansion at the same time now is setting up. Oh, whoa, Scarlett's already pulling away. I mean, that was kind of nice, but then she's losing mining time, obviously, and she's going to go Roach upgrades again, which makes sense if she's already committed into the Ravagers early. The Liberator goes down, but Scarlett? It's a weird one, actually. I mean, Scarlett's kind of lost the third, but she's not immediately, like, dead, but it's not a great position.
Yeah, she's definitely behind right
Oh, she
now.
just started laughing. Did she just do something weird? Because she just, like, literally took her hands off the keyboard and laughed.
I have no clue.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
look
didn't
like
see
it.
anything.
Yeah, I've got absolutely no idea.
Huh.
Haha, that's really funny, Scarlett. You're right. Good one. I agree. One of those moments where you're just like, yeah, you know, I think that's really funny. Yeah, I've got no idea what happened.
Maybe she's listening to some comedy music.
Yeah,
some Bo Burnham.
maybe some song just came on her YouTube shuffle and she's just like, oh, really?
Need
During
put-
game 4.
need put Never Gonna Give You Up in her playlist. That's vengeance for
no.
the semifinals.
That's not even nice. Well, at least it's not
That's
nice.
the worst thing he could possibly do.
How dare he? All right, I mean, an SCV goes down. They're not really too important, the SCV. Let's see this
Well, that Ling survives barely.
taking a little bit of damage. Just going to see Liberator into the main base too, so I mean, pressure continuing here, and Major should keep up this pressure. I love the fact that he's going to start picking Scarlett apart as, oh man, this is going to be a dead queen, dead drones.
That was honestly really
And
sick. She minimized damage a little bit by sending a Roach in because the auto target of the Liberator attacks combat units before workers, so she actually lost 2 less workers than she would have. Really, really nicely done.
That's nice, but look at this progress Major's making. Scarlett, she's so well known for her creep spread, and is what makes her TVZ so scary. The fact that it's so, you know, creep spread is so good. But when you can deny that creep spread, as we see a Tankovac going down, when you can deny that creep spread, it does slow down one of the advantages Scarlett usually takes. But yes, a Tankovac falling, that is a big pick off of the Biles.
Scarlett's been on a pretty low eco until she got that third back up again, but she's teching to Greater Spire very quickly.
This is one of those games where I think she's just like, yeah, I'm not in a great spot, so I'm going to do something absolutely ridiculous, which if it works, then I win, and if it doesn't work, then, well, I was kind of dead
Maybe she
anyways.
laughed because she came up with the idea to go for a 7-minute hive after losing her third.
She's like laughing because she's like, oh my god, imagine how mad he's going to be when I beat him with 10-minute Brood Lords.
After losing my third.
Yeah, after losing my third. She's like, you know what would be really funny? 2 base Greater Spire. And she's like,
Oh
actually,
my
I can
God.
afford a third base anyway. And that's when she's like, oh, it's not as funny anymore, only 3 base. And
That's why she stopped laughing.
yeah, exactly. That's why she started playing again. She's like, oh, I guess I should look like I'm taking it seriously. All right, Crozet Baz again going to push these few Tankovacs back. I mean, Tankovacs are always nice to do damage to slow the Zerg down throughout the game. So just using that and rather just trying to fight against them.
When your control is just so good, like Majors is, although he did lose a medevac there, so one of those tanks is kind of forfeit. If there were speedlings, that tank would die, but, you know, Roaches, they still have to push in and take quite a bit of damage to close the distance. Big move out by Major now. He's down in supply by about 20, though. This is kind of, I mean, it's to be a little bit expected because of Roaches, but after killing off the third, he's surprisingly not far ahead.
Yeah, Major's kind of taking some damage on his 4th base, getting that delayed. Oh my god, the
3 hit
Biles and
points.
Queens.
Oh.
This is the sort of timing from Major that is going to be very hard for Scarlett to hold once she's throwing so many resources into Corruptors and
Is there a
Spires.
fungal on that one infestor that she made? Let's
Yeah,
take
she's
a
got
look.
one
Let's
infested,
just
she's got 2. Okay.
They do have
okay,
fungal. They
well,
have
that's actually
fungal.
huge. That could be what saves the day. 2 Corruptors get targeted. That slows down the Broodlord transition as Major starts to fight. And there's so many Ravagers here, and they're just pushing back these Marines. One Ravager gets flung into the air. There's the fungal. Hits on a lot of the Marines. It helps with the Crozet Baz to connect. Scarlett's holding on for now. 4th base will go down. And then she'll start laughing again. She's like, haha, I killed my 4th base. I've still got Broodlord.
My god, that Greater Spire is almost done.
They
She's only
counterattack
sitting
3rd
on-
base.
Ooh, this is big. That's a lot of Roaches coming on in. That's obviously not a planetary fortress. So this is going to be a painful loss for him. Potentially more painful than the loss of the 4th base, considering the tech advantage for Scarlett. She's adding on 2 Broodlords now. She's getting 4 more Corruptors. She'll probably go up to 5, maybe even 6. And then what does Major do against that? Honestly, he's, oh my god. Did he scout the hive? That's my question after this fight.
Well, I mean, this fight's going to go kind of one side. So he
Oh
did
my
scout a
god.
Hive.
He scouted the hive
But not the Spire.
and not the Spire. So he's gone into the triple Marauder transition expecting Ultras.
But now he's making Vikings, so I think
Okay, I
he's
think
sort
now
of
he knows.
expected.
Oh, now that he saw the Corruptors.
Yeah, he saw the Corruptors
perhaps he
earlier,
knows. But
so-
earlier, he's already up to, okay, it's only 3 Vikings now. Never mind. Wow, Major, please, dude, please, Juan.
So Archie Major's done everything right.
Yeah, he's actually playing really well.
He's yeah, Major Scouting's good. We're going to be seeing, I mean, obviously Vikings are the candidate with Broodlords. If you have enough of them up fast enough, I don't think these Broods really do anything at all. It's interesting though, Scarlett with kind of Roach, Ravager, Infested Broodlord is going to play a very slow game on here on Frozen Temple. She'll be looking to push down this right-hand side. Infestors need to stay alive.
The
That's,
Fungals are a great way to buy time for the other Broodlord. There are actually no other Broodlords.
That
She didn't
was
morph anymore.
Such
2
a weird
Broodlords
Fungal with 2
is-
tanks though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 2 Broodlords kind of can try and do something here. These Queens keep on getting battered, though. A couple of them getting taken down, and Now, Scarlett's taking a lot of damage. She's going to struggle to fight into this many tanks unless she has the Broodlords, and the Broodlords pick off one of the tanks.
Good
And
focus fire.
again, the friendly fire from the onto the Broodlings could really be annoying. Another fungal on the tank. She seems to be aiming for those. You know why? Like, why is it better?
I honestly don't know, but maybe it's like to allow the Broodlords to kill them off. But now there's 6 Broodlords. She doesn't need the assistance of a little bit of fungal damage. One Broodlord goes down, but a lot of the bio also dies at the same time. Another tank goes down, and that one will die too. Oh no, it won't. Barely saving it.
This is crazy, but there's no anti-air to deal with these Vikings that come in. Another big Roach counterattack down to the third base is doing a good job. Marines come in as well. Couple Corruptors a little bit too late to save these Broodlords against the Vikings. Scarlett's going to sort of trade out completely evenly, though. You know, both players are going to lose pretty much everything. If Major has enough to keep on pushing the fourth, that'd be nice, and he is starting to look as though that might be the case. 2-2 upgrades against just +1/+2.
21 SCVs went down on the other side of the map. No economic damage done just yet. Which means that the arming supply is higher for Major, so at the moment he's in a good spot. But if Scarlett finds a way to hold this, her economy will allow her to potentially overpower. Nice focus fire on that one Roach there to take out the final tank. And now Major's beaten back. A lot of this arming supply is in these useless air units.
Yeah, so this is pretty crazy. There's a few Marines coming in. They're so heavily stimmed. I guess that's from defending the Roaches previously. So these Roaches are going to trade right now as well. Vikings do land to try and help out. Scarlett losing some of these Roaches. Has to pull back. Needs more Roaches here. She is only on Roaches, so it's not the best of compositions for her. But this bio is so heavily damaged that it's so difficult to tell how it's going to go. I think Scarlett with reinforcements will just about do this.
But very low health on that fourth, though. Major opting to try to push on for the window rather than for the guaranteed damage. She's got to
get +3 Carapace. That could actually help out quite a lot on these Roaches. The Transfuse comes in.
Especially against units like Vikings and Marines that attack very quickly. The armor upgrade is very effective.
All right, this game's going to calm down for a few moments here. As Major has his fourth base on the right side. He scans to the left. He wants to figure out if Scarlett has a fifth. Major has a lot of gas in the bank, though.
With only 54 SCVs, it's still a healthy count, but I like that he's not mining anymore from the
he's
third,
fixed it already.
From the fourth. Very good by him. He's one of those players who's not going to end up floating 4K gas at the end of the game with like 38 SCVs with half of the mining gas. So Major, of course, a fantastic player. Not one to make those mistakes very often. Pushing forward again. Picks off one of the queens, not the one with energy. The one with energy does manage to transfuse before it dies, and Infestor pops, but no pathogen glands means no fungal growth for the next 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, so that Infestor comes out, it has to just hang back for now. At least he didn't get sniped down. Will once again find himself with more or less enough Roaches to push on through this, and actually keeps on trading. Major, all of a sudden, is dropping a lot of supply here, as these Marauders and Marines are just not doing enough.
Oh, that mine is going to be
huge hit into the center of all of the Roaches. A corrosive bile hits the Widowmine, actually, so trying to clean that up. Scarlett's still a low 50 supply ahead, although purely on Roaches. Major still trying to fight this with pure bio.
Nice little micro picking up the mine there. Major knows that every single unit that he has is so important. And while the supply is favoring Scarlett, oh, here they come. They do have just enough energy. Not a great hit for the first one, but if she can get that medevac, which she won't, would have been a nice little catch.
She's just going to wait for a few more Ravagers, knowing that actually if she drops a fungal, it would be best if she has more Ravagers to use with that. So this is looking very good for Scarlett. You wouldn't think this is the sort of game, as one Fester gets sniped down, you wouldn't think this is the sort of game that actually had Broodlords and so on in it already, would you?
No, not really, but Frozen Temple is one of those games where when the Terran decides to get very aggressive, it turns into a later low-eco game, because while you're on 4 base and Legacy of the Void, you mine out very quickly. There's nothing left in the main, very little left in the natural, very little left in the third, so this and the third are the important ones right now, but once the third mine's out in about a minute, all of a sudden, very low eco, as I was saying, so oh, man, that Infestor almost died to that mine. The Corrosive Bile saving the day.
Yeah, Bow's picking off a Widow mine there. We're going to see what's that again down to the south side. The third base is kind of a little bit of an interesting attack from Scarlett. Just some Roaches. That's such a big pickup from Major. That's a really good trick considering the situation.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at the overcommittal of the units to defend the third. There's nothing here at the fourth. This is a far more important expansion. She just collapses in on it with her units. No resistance. Yeah, the Corrosive Bow's really helping just power that down quickly. But a big counterattack now into Scarlett's natural expansion. She's going to start losing some drones at least. Maybe even the base. I mean, it's not, it's very close to mining out. There's literally 80 minerals left at this base.
Yeah, I mean, the gas is maybe somewhat important. She has more minerals than gas right now, so that might be a little bit frustrating for her. Big push up the right-hand side.
Actually reproducing this. There's only 300 gas there as well. She's like a little bit strapped on minerals, or not super strapped on minerals, but every mineral kind of counts until she gets that fifth.
We've seen these units coming forward here. The Infestors at the front have to be so careful. That's not where you want them to be. No fungal coming off of that, which means that Major takes a nice little fight there. He's relocated to fourth base now. His main base orbital to the fourth base to the bottom left, so he's just setting that up once again. And at this point, Major needs to kind of maybe just try and build up a bit more. I feel as though in higher numbers, his army's going to do much better against Roach Ravager than it is in kind of the smaller numbers, kind of taking like small skirmishes, because that's where Roach Ravager really excels as a composition.
For sure, and now we do have Major going back into quadruple Marauder production, because now that is absolutely the correct decision. With the lower gas count, the Ravager count right now is very high, but if he wins a game, again, or if he wins a fight like earlier on, he'll be up against pure Roaches, and it's going to be very easy for him to push on through if he has a ton of Marauders.
I love this. Finally, some more Broodlords coming in. And obviously, I say finally, but she couldn't build them before now. But now she's got the chance, she builds them, and it's going to be amazing because you know what? With Broods, Major might not be prepared until he drops the scan and sees them, and he can start building Vikings again and never commit into that fight until he has them.
27 Marauders as well. If she had more Broodlords, like if she had like 8 Broodlords, there would be just nothing to deal with them. And, well, there are a fair few Marines, a couple of Roaches going to die here on the bottom side of the map, but that's not a big deal because she does have enough money to completely max out on Roaches if she wants. She's adding on the Ultra Cavern, which I feel like might be a play where if she gets enough money, she can push at the Army, trade well, remax, and just end the game. But going into Ultras as part of the composition would not be something I would advise with so many Marauders being on the map.
Yeah, you can see Marines and Marauders stimming up the left-hand side right now. These Ravagers and Infestors are quick to respond, though the Fungal does just grab a couple of units here, nothing too major. But we're going to be seeing these units continue to move up the right side as well. And, oh yeah, Little wouldn't mind just blocking a base. And the fifth base is so important right now, so actually denying that for a little bit longer does really help. As Scarlett, though, big attack through the middle while hitting the left side as well. And Major has so many units off to the right, they're easy to kind of bring back over here. But it does allow Scarlett to set up position on the kind of third base.
There's not a ton of Queens in this army for transfuses, so the low count of Broodlords means that she's got to be very careful. If the Vikings snipe even one, that's going to be disastrous. Oh, the Infestor's getting in position to potentially fungal those. Oh, no!
Yeah, where they go, and the Infestors, one of them goes down, drops a fungal, but the second one goes down as well. Corruptor's not going to do much just yet. Scarlett's so much to the left-hand side, she's going to start taking the fight down to the bottom left while this main army position still. You can see she is going to win this fight down here, so those Roaches will move in towards the fourth, which should be an orbital if I'm not mistaken, and that means that these SCVs will start to go down. It'll force Major to pull units from the third, and that maybe means Scarlett can continue to push through the center. Some units wrapping around to the right side now, an interesting decision when she's already so far forward, but, well, she's a little bit indecisive as to where she wants to go.
She really is right now. The Corruptors are very important here to help zone the Vikings in this fight. She may want 1 or 2 more Broodlords, though, going forward. She is extremely strapped for gas at the moment. These are mined out. These are mined out. These are down to just under 200 each. So, very, very awkward situation where she's going to be very Roach heavy since those are, of course, the very cheap gas units, and she's not really going to want to make 0-3 links.
Oh, that's Broodlords actually in attack from the Vikings, but a big stim in of this position as well. And here we go. Big fungal grows as the Corrosive Battles layer the army, or lap of the army, in fact. And they're going to do a lot of damage, but Major's continue to pick away at this, and the Broodlords are going to get kind of taken down as well. Scarlett, for the first time in a long time, is going to be behind on supply. Well, it's actually still very close. Infested Terran's dropping down, though, and that's never a good thing. A
lot of the supply, and a bit of the supply at least, is in Corruptors. Not enough on the ground to hold Major. Wow, that was a game. That was definitely a game.
We are tied up 2 games apiece in this best of 7. I said I would be surprised if we didn't see at least 6 games.
You were right, Wardy.
At this
as
point,
you so often are.
At this point, we might just get up to kind of 7 games.
I would not be. I wouldn't be surprised. What maps are left? We've got Frost.
King
Oh
Sejong.
God, that'll be. Oh God, those will be long potentially. And Galactico. Wow. Wow, you thought we were all over halfway done, guys. Maybe not time-wise.
Up next going to be Frost, so this does depend a lot on the spawning locations.
And
Have a
Juan
big
is already
effect on
getting
this.
tired, rubbing his eyes, getting ready for a nap.
Hopefully he can stay awake. I mean, Frost is a map we did see yesterday in Scarlet vs. Mage, and it was... No, it wasn't.
Oh, we did see Sejong and Galactico.
I'm so sick of all these maps with icy terrains. It confuses me. You know when you just remember sort of like the terrain or something, you're like, oh yeah, and like for a split moment, you're like, yep, and then it's like, no. Of course
no, there's 3 of them, Wardy.
Man, it's so crazy though. How many times do you see the kind of entire, the entire kind of, like best of 3 being made up of the icy map? It's like Frozen.
A lot, because they're all pretty commonly played as well.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy how often that happens. It's kind of funny. Anyways,
Even Dazan has a bit of an icy feel, although overall it just seems more mechanical.
wow,
But
we barely see Dazan really though.
there's an Ursadon on there, and that is a
That's
an
true. That's the most
Arctic
annoying
creature.
critter. It's such a large critter just
God,
roaming
it
around your
is.
main base
It
slash
blocks
natural.
your hatchery occasionally. It's very annoying.
I'm waiting for the time in
I
the
like that it's an achievement
BlizzCon
to kill it,
finals. BlizzCon finals. Ursadon blocks the hatchery, and it's gonna ruin the. It's gonna end the game. It's gonna be the game changer. Game 7 of the BlizzCon finals. Call it
Please
now.
don't say that.
Okay, I said it already.
All right, we're into Frost, guys. Game number 5 of this best of 7 that may well go the distance here. Oh, wow. I'm having a good time, Wardy, are you?
I'm having a fantastic time, man. I mean, it's not every day you get to cast Major versus Scarlett or a match like this, and especially when it starts to go the distance. You know, you cast this sort of tournament, or this sort of match on the line, say like a tournament, when there's like maybe like $500 on the line. You know, they kind of give us some good games, but they don't throw everything out there. This is everything, you know. This is $12,000 or thereabouts, first place prize. Everything to play for right now as we enter Game 5. Who will go on to match point? Penguin, take us away.
In the bottom right, representing Mexico, representing Invasion Esports, representing the Terran race. It's going to be our red player, Major.
And to the top right-hand side, from Canada, representing the Hive Mind. She's the one, she is the only, Scarlett.
Alrighty. We got vertical spawns, Wardy. Now, there's a little bit of argumentation here between what is worse for Zerg, vertical or horizontal. Personally, I really hate horizontal spawns, so I like that we get vertical, because for me, obviously Cross massively favors Zerg. For me, this is like the more neutral-ish spawns.
As a Terran player, it's just like, yeah, not Cross.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares? I'm going to push you and kill you anyways.
Yep, it's definitely.
So, I mean, the
irritating.
reason because of that as well, basically, in Cross, both players get 4 bases, and the 5th base becomes hard to hold, which is okay because actually you can do a lot on 4 bases. But when it's vertical and horizontal, the 4th base, one of your 4th bases is going to be very difficult to hold. And so you sort of have to take an awkward 4th base, or you have to hold that, and it becomes very difficult. And so that's when it favors the Terran player who does better on 3 bases for a longer time, whereas the Zerg, if they can't get the 4th up, it's oftentimes just GG from there anyways.
Very, very true. Now, Scarlett has been showing us that she's very, very keen to play macro games outside of that Ravager opening in the last game.
And
Even
the Proxy
that one
Hatch on
went very well.
Dasan.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. But, I mean, let's be real. Who plays macro on Dasan?
Everyone else this weekend, apparently. We actually saw some crazy long games on Dasan throughout the day and throughout the weekend. It's been an interesting tournament in terms of like seeing things which are a little bit quirky, a little bit different. I guess that's what you get when you kind of get a set of players who maybe not super familiar with.
Yeah, perhaps. Now, I do worry, like you said, about Scarlett going into a macro game on this map, just holding the 4th base. If Major decides to get very, very aggressive with a tank push, and she does try to take this one as the 4th, I don't think she will, but it becomes very difficult to hold. You can position some tanks here, start dropping your units down over on this cliff ledge, and it becomes very difficult, especially if she opts to play for the Roach Ravager style again. She is getting Ling Speed this time, similar to Apotheosis, but even on Apotheosis, she went into not Lingbane Muto, which surprises me very, very much.
4 games already, and we haven't seen Lingbane Muta. It's kind of crazy. Is it time now? Actually, let's talk about this build of Major, because this is not the 2-1-1, but it is a second reactor. And so what happens is you get this sort of kind of weird sort of 14 Marine Widowmine drop. This was like the predecessor to the 2-1-1, and then 2-1-1 came around, and everyone's like, wow, we can hit 30 seconds later with the same things, but with stim.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty broken. Whoa,
This is
on the high
interesting.
ground. That's cool.
All right, well, Major is going to look to get some damage done on that 3rd base. We did see him try to get a bunker up on Frozen. Didn't work out quite too well, but he did take the 3rd out nonetheless. Let's see what happens with these 12 Marines and this Widowmine. Scouted by Scarlett. This is substantially earlier than the 2-1-1 medevacs would leave, so somebody who knows the game as well as Scarlett should be able to deduce what is coming her way.
Yeah, she's making 16 links. She's got a couple more queens on the way up as well. And she's just going to start gathering yours together. She's on 42 drones, but because Scarlett usually holds everything 10 drones more, that's pretty good for her, and she should be fine against this. But that bunker might become a little bit of an issue.
It might. It's going to be very interesting to be sure. Here we go. SCP goes down already, so that's nice. No repairs to worry about. Immediately evacuates the drone line. I love that decision. She already got the drones. She doesn't really need a couple extra minerals and immediately, but...
The other thing about this bunker is it's actually just SimCity to work with as well. You know, you can kind of get in a choke point there. It's actually very unengageable. Oh, yeah, melee upgrades! Yes,
so
come on, let's go.
All right, wait a minute. Oh, great bait on the Widowmine there. Only getting a couple of lings, and wow. Cleans up about half of the Marines.
Man, that medevac with all the Marines is getting very low. Does choose a good way to get out. I think across the top side is pretty much the safest. Obviously, it'll take a bit longer to get home, but that's just what you needed. But oh my god,
it's a Hellbat Liberator follow-up push. This is going to be really cool. This does very well against Lings, but specifically it does very well against somebody who just made 18 drones as well. This
is exactly what Major won with on King Sejong Station against Scarlett yesterday, so we'll see if Scarlett sort of learned her lesson. It doesn't look like it. 6 drones on the way up, no sign of a Bane nest, no sign of anything. A Rotoron coming down. That's not going to be here in time to save her against this Hellbat attack. Armory is about to finish, and, well, for defending the first attack so well, she just does not have enough to fight this second wave.
Yeah, that's 18 larva worth of Lings. That's 36 less Zerglings in this fight. And this is going to be difficult. The medevacs are getting pretty low already. The queen count is healthy, so if she picks up the medevacs, Hellbats are great. But what really makes them so scary about Lings is that the medevacs kind of out-heal 0-0 Lings. Not quite out-heal, but they heal a lot of the damage. And wow, 4 hit points left. 1 queen shot will kill that.
So actually, if the medevacs go down, this army does start to die, which is what Scarlett needs. As this Liberator is taking so much damage, she will get rid of this. That's not an issue. As Major, does he target fire? Nope, just goes off onto Queen. So that is a nice defense from Scarlett. Considering she was not prepared at all, she has done a very good job of minimizing the damage here. One of the medevacs has gone down. Yeah, she's held. Without an engagement even happening. That's incredible.
That was really incredible.
She has lost a lot of mining time, though.
She has, but she's still up at 56 workers. The 3rd CC for Major is very, very late. Her 1-1 is almost done.
And look at the counterattack. 3rd CC in position.
What 3rd CC, Wardy?
I don't know what I'm talking about. You're right. It doesn't exist.
Bam. No cancel.
Oh, no cancel as well. Whoa, that's 400 mils. Major. This looks so good for him, and now he's just falling apart.
All of the Lings are on the other side of the map, and she still holds.
I mean, the Spore Crawler killing the medevac is huge because now there's no healing on that, so Queens just have the time in their lives. Kite away.
It's like when I watch Scarlett play as a Zerg player, I just feel like it's unfair how good she is.
Yeah.
Like, I told her that earlier. I'm like, it's just not fair. She's like, what? I'm like, it's not fair how good you are. She's like, but I lost a game against Cham. I'm like, Scarlett, please.
That's how I feel about Bjorn. It's like, I watch him, and like, I think Bjorn is like, even further unfair. Anyways, let's stop talking nonsense because we do have this push push coming in from Scarlett, just pushing this back. Hellions going to get caught as well. Oh, it's just around!
No.
Oh, this is horrendous. Again, Major just gets caught and nothing is working for him.
He does get 3 workers, I guess, with this Liberator. Now he's killing off a bit of larva. Oh my god, this is such a disaster right now. The +1 range, +2 carapace is on the way for Scarlett. +1 armor is almost done for Major. But man, this 3rd CC is still not done. This is so bad economically for Major. He's been forced also to mule his main and his natural excessively. He's already mining out of his main. He's lost a mineral patch here.
Yeah, this is really, really tough. I mean, no free bases set up just yet. I mean, he's just floating that into position now. We see Scarlett just clean up a watchtower.
I think that Major actually is dealing with some indecision. He threw in 2 Cyclones. That's like, 2 Cyclones doesn't really do anything. It's like he thought to himself, okay, maybe I have to go Cyclone Heli. And he made 2 Cyclones. He's like, no, I don't want to go Cyclone Heli. I'll do something else. That's 300 gas down the drain, although they are actually going to do pretty well against
I think they're okay, actually, because I think it means he can join them with the Hellions and just sort of try, push the Roaches back to some extent, because then they can't just keep on chasing, because then, I mean, Scarlett doesn't care about 2 Roaches, but it does mean he's getting something out of, each trade with the Hellions. I don't know, it's an interesting one. He did the same yesterday. He went up to 2 Cyclones, then played back for the rest of it. Or tanks.
All right, well, fair enough. Apparently that is a thing that Major likes to do then. This is
I guess.
Very interesting. Oh, man, vehicle plating does so much help against those Queens for Liberators.
Yeah,
not when there's 5 of them, though.
I mean, you know, you can get help against the queens, but you never really beat the queens.
Yeah, and you can't really outrun them because queens were recently buffed to have.
They have like 20 range.
Yeah, I was about to make that joke, Wardy. Why do you have to? Why?
Because you owe me a steal from yesterday. You like stole my intro or something, and you've put me through so many bad name jokes this weekend.
I know. Hey, you're the one who came up with like 16 egg puns.
Yeah, they were good though. I enjoyed them ones.
And then he didn't even play against Major. Oh.
We had so many egg puns prepared from Egg versus Major. It's going to be incredible.
All right. 5th base on the way up to Scarlett over on the west-hand side here. Liberator may be able to confirm its existence. Yep.
That's nice. I mean, this is the thing. Scarlett's in this position now where she's up to the 4 bases safely, right? So now that she's up to the 4 bases safely, this is where Frost Vertical Swans is completely fine for a Zerg player.
And she doesn't have to deal with anything like a Marine tank push, obviously, because we're already 10 minutes in and it's mech. More damage going down. Major has slowly but surely killed off a decent amount, but considering how much he invested in aggression this entire game, 11 drones is practically nothing.
Yeah, 11 drones is really not much at all. You can see Major's just not treated as well as Scott throughout. And, I mean, setting up a couple of drops to the right-hand side is, I mean, they're Marines, right? So they're like, yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, because he's playing mech, but they're just left over from earlier. So try and get something done, but they won't do a lot. It's such a weird one. It's like that's such a, like a bio thing to see, and he's playing mech. It's like it completely caught me off guard. I'm like,
it's kind of funny those Marines are still alive. Down goes that no cancel. Unfortunate.
It's no cancel Sundays, man. We've seen so many no cancels.
It really is, and this is doing a lot actually. Scarlett's like, what Marines?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different one. She just got a Viper or 2 popping out. Cleans up this Hellbat attack to the top left, which, you know, while she lost a base, she does clean up. She does get the kills, which is nice. Queens come in. Goodbye, Medivacs. I mean, unupgraded Marines at this point aren't actually going to kill the Queens, but they might still get the Hive, but not with so many transfuses, obviously. So this is going to be fine. Scarlett cleans up. Doesn't really need to send anything other than the Queens in here. Should have kept that Queen alive, though.
Yeah. And, well, now we have a little bit of a Roach pressure, Roach lane pressure. Ooh, this is a nice pickup. And Cyclone is a very, very expensive unit. And Scarlett trying to find some damage, but she doesn't really need to right now. She's already got a 1.5, 1.2k bank going for her. Major struggling to get above 150 supply. It's nice for him to finally have this planetary established at the 4th, but it is so late.
Yeah, finally 4 is going to be finishing up. So finally 4 base against 4 base.
7 Vipers against ground, man. That is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but I think she just wants to abduct a lot and really kind of just keep on trading super efficiently throughout. We're going to be seeing a bit of an attack set from Scott to the south side. Not sure how effective that is or what's in position for Major. 1 or 2 tanks. It's actually Zerglings running through here for a few Roaches. Well, they're not going to have a good time.
No. Looks like Major will lose a few of the supply depots, which is at least some damage. And Scarlett's really just trying to get rid of the Roaches to get more efficient supply, so that's not a big deal. Nice. Oh my god, even getting the blinding
cloud.
Really she abducts them into the blinding cloud. Oh,
wow,
that was so sick.
That was actually really
so
sick.
sick.
Intentional or not, that was so sick, as we're going to be seeing. The Hydras should probably move forwards, you know? Like
yeah, she's on hold position. Yeah. I don't know why she's on hold position. I also don't know why there was a blinding cloud on the hatchery.
She didn't want her hatchery to join the fight. She wanted to say pure and kind, and oh wait, hatcheries don't shoot.
Oh, actually a tank goes down. These Roaches did a fair bit, to be honest.
Yeah, they were just doing a lot. I mean, Scar's kind of losing a fair amount. Again, these abductions do so
much damage. Look at the bank, though. She's at 4K, 1K.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She can remax so easily.
She's just trying to decide what to make at this point.
You question 7 Vipers, but 7 Vipers have done so much. Like, she's just abducted
She actually doesn't have enough energy to blinding cloud and push.
Yeah,
she needs more Vipers.
Yeah. Does she know she can just consume? I mean, I'm pretty sure she does. But apparently not right now. That's interesting. I mean, I don't think she needs 3 more Vipers at all, but I think that's the way we're going to go, as we're going to be seeing Hellions will get a little bit of damage to abducting Hellions as well.
God.
I mean, maybe that's why she wants to abduct everything.
Well, these 2 Hellions find a little bit. They're hiding in the bushes there, but they do end up dying. Meanwhile, Major, he's got a decent income with that 4th base established. He's at 160 supply. If he maxes out, of course, if you max out as mech, there's always a chance you win the game, because it's very difficult for the Zerg to engage properly, and even if they have a superior army, it is easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, definitely is going to see the Italians going to pick off a creep team of that. Little bits and pieces. Scarlett pushing forwards again. Lots of Hydras mixed into this, as well as, you know, we've seen these abducts becoming once again very important. There's just no answer to these Vipers right now. You know, there's like a couple of Vikings.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the abducts coming in again and again. That said, Scarlett's still only on 4 base herself, struggling to get a 5th base up.
Yeah, she lost this one earlier and hasn't been able to reproduce it just yet. Oh, the timing on those spines finishing absolutely impeccable. Double Spire transition coming in. double upgrades on the air just in case Major goes into air, and even if he doesn't, 3-3 Broodlords are pretty scary.
I mean, as long as she keeps Major to 4 bases, it's completely fine, right? But if Major gets a base up and she's still on 4, then she's going to find trouble. So, has to be a little bit cautious here, as we do just see some bars hitting, connecting. Vipers looking for a way in, looking to see where they can abduct if possible. Still, Hellions kind of making their way through as well, though, and it's again a few more drones going down.
Yeah, slowly but surely getting the damage done. He's killed about 33 workers this game. Honestly, at this point with the bank where it is, though, Scarlett is fine to just reproduce. Never mind, she's thinking 8 drones. But I was going to say she can just put that into army supply.
Yeah, Scarlett's not one of these people who likes to be below 70 drones. She's like
what?
80 drones or nothing. Look, Dan's a bit kind of unnecessary, I feel as though.
It's just weird. I really hope that some hold position lurkers do something, just because that would be awesome to see.
You've been talking about hold position workers all weekend.
Yeah, but against Bio and like Bio Tank.
I mean, you've still been talking about them. I don't care when. It's just you've been talking about them. But yeah, I mean, so is the lurker den, do you think, like, really interesting? Do you think you don't usually see lurkers?
Oh, you don't usually see them at all. Oh, no. No. Unfortunately, those two infestors are just over on the east side trying to take a break and enjoy a pizza when they got blown to bits.
Yeah, unfortunately, Scott couldn't hear you shouting no to kind of move them away.
Yeah.
Going to be seeing these Vikings going to be getting picked up as well. Another little abduct forwards, a Widowmine going down as well. As we do see this kind of split push now from Major, well, not split push, but kind of splitting a few units away to then push up the right side. Best attempts by like a few moments. Scott has to pull back to deal with this.
Oh, it gets a tank value.
Yeah, I mean, that is actually pretty sick. Abducts coming forwards, these fours are going to go down. Blinding Cloud should be enough to just push on in.
Oh, that mine though. Oh my god, that's a lot of Blinding Clouds.
Yeah.
And the Abducts come out to finish everything off. Major got a decent amount of damage done with that, but the Bank of Scarlett is just still so scary.
It's just the kind of economy situation we've seen all the way through. The fact that Major has been losing more throughout as
Almost
well. 19k to 11.7. It's not pretty. You know, Major has to start taking some better fights, but how do you take better fights when you're doing the exact same thing and Scarlett's doing the exact same thing? And,
that's a lot of Widow Mines. What? This is a really weird army composition all of a sudden.
Do you think it's because he maybe expects Broodlords to some extent?
Maybe. Oh my god.
Or is it just for the Vipers?
Oh, he sees the Lurkers morphing. He's got to be really confused right now. He doesn't actually have Drilling Claws, so he's going to lose a lot of those without anything happening.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. There's a Blinding Cloud available. She doesn't have the energy to Blinding Cloud, so actually the tanks are going to trade it very well here. Finally, Major gets something, but still going to lose so much. Target firing onto the Hydras there, making sure he gets a nice clunk going down as well. Lurkers will move on forwards.
I don't
Should
really
be a scan.
Yeah, they will clean this up just because there's not very many units left. But oh my god.
Widow Mines are so weird.
So many Widow Mines without Drilling Claws, I really don't understand.
This is getting so scrappy. Scarlett's letting this get way closer than it ever should be. She's down in supply because she isn't spending her money right now. Liberator's going to be sieging up, having a little bit of look to see what she can get up to.
It doesn't quite micro it far enough away. Lurkers are expensive losses. That's 150 gas.
Yeah, it's more and more down. I mean, Scarlett needs to spend her money.
Look how slow the Overlord dies with +1 Carapace.
It's disgusting. Overlord's over, broken man. He gives up. He's just like, yeah, I'm sick of this. Can't be bothered anymore. Goodbye. I'm absolutely done. Major trying to take a base bottom left. That's actually really important to point out because this base, if it goes up, is huge. If it doesn't, then it's still Major on 4 bases and eventually Scarlett still wins the wall of attrition we've talked about so much in this series.
Yeah, Scarlett's still very low on supply. She's sitting on a decent bank, as we said before. Maybe her larva is at a bit of a low. She's got 7.
Maybe she just doesn't know exactly what she wants to make just yet.
Maybe she's really thrown off by these mines, to be honest, because I'm really thrown off by these mines, and I can see everything.
Maybe it's time for the 20 Overseer hit squad again.
Can you imagine if she just went over and the splash damage from the mines killed everything?
Has that not happened before?
It's good against Bio. Like that actually, when HOTS came out, that was kind of meta for like 3 weeks to just get like speed overlords and just fly them over the army.
It's kind of funny. We see this 4 going to get grabbed forwards. I mean, a 4 is really expensive to pick up. Another mine as well. Again, Scarlett just back, just kind of slowly picking away, and it's going well for her. Only 6 Vipers left over now. As we're going to
Don't worry, she's making 3 more.
Oh,
she's never below 8 Vipers.
I was really worried that there wasn't going to be enough yet. Like, I really was.
Man.
All right. Maybe seeing this tank just pulling back a little bit.
This is abducts on mines is so like risky.
Yeah, I mean, right, because they can't go in range and so on. She has a couple Broodlords
Oh
up
my
the top
god.
side. This is actually sick.
This is so cool.
This is so good against the Widow Mines as well. It's actually crazy against the Widow Mines. Widow Mines can force. Maybe this is what they were for all along, but they just go down. Not a single one goes off still.
The actually killed 3 or 4 of the Widow Mines with their friendly fire there. That was very, very unfortunate for Major. He's still got a fair few Widow Mines. Drilling Claws finally starts.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been investing in so many mines, why hasn't he had Drilling Claws before now? this is so weird because we've been seeing this continuous push in the same position for so long, and Major's just not tried anything new. Finally, Major's supply is really whittling away because he's at this point where he's running out of eco. I feel as though Scarlett should know about this base, though, and she does actually have a Roach and a Hydra here.
41 out of 16.
More.
He's mining out of everything.
Yeah, he needs to just get rid of just a little bit more. You know, he's got nowhere else to mine from, right? Because he's been on full bases for so long.
He doesn't need this gas income right now. He should float this over to this base over here.
Yeah, I mean, he should. I mean,
this is a game where things have been happening the entire time, though, so it's very, very difficult to keep everything in mind. Oh, that was so nice. He had the Overseers positioned in front of the Vipers so that the auto-target of the Vikings attacked the Overseers. Just so nuanced all the time. Both of these players are just doing such a great job with that.
Yeah, it's again just the little things that are really adding up throughout the course of the game, as we're going to be seeing a tank evac going down this side to try and protect this base, I guess. How much is over there? Like
a lot.
But it's a planetary fortress, and with 41 SCVs, I don't think it's going to get rid of
I honestly feel like it would be a great idea to descend. I think this is what this is. One Viper to Blinding Cloud it, and that's going to do a pretty decent job.
Well, that's all you need, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, she'll force all of the money that Major has to go into repairing this building.
Yeah, this one tank's actually doing quite a bit to defend it as
kills
well.
On this from earlier. He's a veteran.
Isn't it crazy? We spent like 10 minutes looking at the top right side. Now the one thing to pull us away is like this one tank defending Planetary Fortress. These Hellions actually get a good shot into the Hydras. Hydras are pretty, take a lot of damage against Hellions, as we can see.
Honestly, Scarlett needs to start using the consume ability. She's always so low on the
damage. Yeah, I don't get it. Why
just build like 3 Evos.
I don't get it at all. It's really, really weird as we're going to be seeing this creep continue. Just look at the creep, actually. The thing is, there's been nothing to contest. Yeah, that's the Viper. Come on, Scarlett. Let's take down this base. Because that's actually giving Major way more money than he ever should have gotten here, I think.
Yeah. A lot of mulage could go down here. I don't actually see any mules there right now, but, here we go. Blinding Cloud comes down. Oh, really great positioning. Gets the tank as well.
That's so sick. I mean, that's kind of just going to be the base going down here, right? And if SCVs going
There's
down,
almost
very
enough
close.
The Blinding Cloud as well.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, those always going to go down. Okay, Major takes his
that might actually be the killing blow here.
Yeah,
he's down by 80 supply at this point. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what are you meant to do? I mean, he's trying to land this base. It gets found instantly.
This is the only potential mining he has outside of this. I mean, this actually
has a few more minerals on
Yeah, this is a very healthy base.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, he did take the 4th base very late, I guess.
Yeah, but still, 21, 22 minutes in, that's still a bit weird.
I guess he just hasn't had it saturated properly throughout. That's actually quite a big mistake.
Well, moving on forward, this is the last. Oh man, just kiting everything. Scarlett picking off so many units as she goes, and it's already very questionable whether or not Major can win a fight even against this half of the army.
She's so good at, again, Overseers in front. The Vikings aren't doing anything useful, and she comes in from the left side as well. This is it. Scarlett collapses on in, and surely Major just types out the GG. There it is, and it is Scarlett to go on to match point. Leans back in kind of a bit of relief as Major types out there. That game was under control from Scarlett, though, from start through to finish.
Yep.
She was underprepared against attacks, still defended, and now she's on match point in the grand finals.
And the remaining maps, Galactic and Sejong. Those are the 2 maps she lost to Major on yesterday.
Oh, wow, yeah, they are. Well, that is interesting, but today's Scarlett looks very different.
She does. She looks hungry. It's almost hungry. Hungry for victory. Is that
she wants to go out and get some dinner.
She wants to win 4-2 instead of having to go to Game 7 because otherwise we might miss the Brazilian barbecue.
Yeah, she's ready for some Brazilian barbecue already. She wants some more of that pollo, man. All right, I mean, seriously though, I don't really think the fact that she lost on those 2 maps yesterday is going to have much of an impact on her mindset here because she's just playing so well. Yesterday, Scarlett was making interesting decisions to try and be too aggressive. She didn't get anything done. She was like kind of too cautious at points. Nothing was going well. And today, even the game she's lost, I think on New Gettysburg, it was like, wow, it was the same Scarlett as yesterday. But after New Gettysburg, it's been very kind of very dominant from Scarlett. And again, what was the map she lost on? It was yeah, it's
Frozen. Been a long series.
Frozen?
Yes, it was Frozen.
Was it Frozen?
It was Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen was very close as well, though, right? And she fell very far behind and still dragged it into a very long game. So I really like the way Scarlett's playing right now as we get ready for Game 6.
An epic finals. 7,500 people watching so far, guys. Thank you all for tuning in to the WESG America's Regional Finals. Great to have you all with us as we jump on into what could be the last game or the second last game of the tournament. We're waiting on the lobby to be hosted on up, and then we will be ready to go momentarily. I'm not too surprised that the players want to take a minute to just sort of breathe and collect themselves, because this has already been an exceedingly long series. Galactic, going to be the next game. This one could also be long.
Yeah, it definitely could be. You know what's crazy? We still haven't seen Lingbe and Muta because
We were so excited when the melee started last
We actually
game.
like cheered. We like jumped up like little girls, like, "Woo, we did it! Finally, we're gonna see it!" And no, Major plays mech.
Yeah.
God damn you, Terran players who keep on ruining our dreams of seeing some
Terran
Lingbe and Muta
players.
bio.
There's like 2 who play mech.
It's like, I'm watching you, Major.
All right, well, Major did go for a very strong Hellbat push. The same build we saw on Frost, actually, on this map yesterday, with a lot more success. I would be very surprised if he threw it out in this game. But Galactic, one of those maps where Terran can get into some very abusive positions with tanks around the 3rd base position.
Yeah, most definitely. So we're going to be setting on up right now. We are in this lobby. We're just waiting for players to ready up, which, of course, fair enough. They might want a moment or two. So, yeah, just going in. Countdown is on. I love the countdown. Just so you know, it's that point where you're like, yes.
Especially after a bit of a prolonged bit of gap between games.
Yeah, but
when you're a viewer watching the stream and you don't actually see the lobby, you just hear the countdown going, and it's like, soon.
And then the caster like keeps on talking. You're like, dude, you're in game. You're like, just keep the caster keeps on talking. That's what I always do. I'm like,
there's just a disconnect. Oh man. This will take about 2. It's like, oh well, one of the players' PCs died. It's going to be a 20-minute break now.
All right, you're just making my worst nightmares come alive here. I'm going to let you take it away, Penguin.
Alrighty. In the top right spawn location of Galactic Process, 1 map away from winning her first major event in almost 2 years. It's going to be the Queen of Blades, the pink Zerg player from Expert, from Canada, Scarlett.
Do you believe Canada just missed out on a win here in the CSGO?
Yes, they did.
So
very sad, because I was actually talking to one of the guys, and he's a really cool dude. They came back.
And I think Canada also came 2nd place in Hearthstone.
Yeah, they did. Oh my god, if Major just ruins the dream here.
Canada's performing well, but just not quite hitting the title. This is Scarlett's chance. It is Major down to the bottom left-hand side, guys. We all know this. Game 6, match point to Scarlett.
Whoa.
Yes,
it's happening.
All right, now I'm really glad we're seeing this. You know why? Because Scarlett's free Rax Reaper defense. No. Because Scarlett's free Rax Reaper defense is the best in the world, and I'm just going to say that right now. She was the first person to really develop the roach-based defense because she went into customs games with Bjorn. I know for a fact she played 50 customs in a row with Bjorn against free Rax Reaper, and she figured out how to play kind of 4 roach, 2 Ravager defense, and she is so good at it. She figured out exactly when to drone, take the 3rd base. She's so good. So this is going to be
in other words, this is probably not a great build order decision from Major.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm going to say. So now that I've hyped it up so much, watch it like just die to the first Reaper. You can imagine it, right?
Of course I can imagine it, because that's my ladder games a lot.
All right, mate. It's not you on the stage, though. Oh, dear. So Fred Rax is coming on in. Fred Reaper going to be coming up as well. Very standard stuff so far, if considering it's free Rax Reaper, of course. And we expect it on Galactic Process if there's ever going to be a map he's using it on. Either Frozen or Galactic, and he's going to throw it in Galactic. And I like this, still keeping the build orders different, not allowing himself to do the same thing too many times in a row.
Oh boy, Scarlett. This might be a little bit too greedy. Oh no, because she doesn't have the minerals yet. She should see the Reaper. Yeah. Oh, but it's only 1 Reaper. Of course, this doesn't say anything.
She's about to see the second
she's about to see the natural expansion.
Yeah.
So, all right. She should not take that 3rd, unless she's crazy. She might anyway, because Scarlett is crazy.
No, she's going to pull it back, and usually here she cancels the speed as well, just to get the extra resources for more roaches.
Yeah, and there's a Roach Warren coming on down now as well. Starting up, as you said, Roaches and Ravagers, a good way to defend against 3 Rax Reaper. Does she get a second gas for this? I don't think so.
No, you stay on 1 gas, and it's because you get the kind of cancel on the link speed that you have enough gas more from the couple Ravagers, so it's just more than enough.
I'm one of those people who's really dumb and really stubborn, so I use Zerglings to try to defend, which is why I never beat good players.
Zerglings are awful, man. Zerglings against free Rax would be like, oh man, this is going great. How can you possibly kill all my links? Oh my god, they all just explode.
Yep.
Yep. I'm so glad I don't play Zerg that much right now, because I just know for a fact that as soon as I do and I get free Rax, I'm just going to be like losing all my links to the grenade. I'm just going to, yep, I'm done.
Time to uninstall.
I've never uninstalled StarCraft.
I have to reinstall it to fix issues, but there's things going on.
Not like that.
5 Reapers moving on forward. 4 Queens to try to buy time for the Roaches. A whole bunch of gas already in the bank. Now 1 Queen almost goes down. Yep, great
target fire on that Reaper as well. Really good target fire. Second Reaper gets so low, just gets away, and look at that pullback on the Queen as well. 4 Roaches on the way up, then she'll make a round of drones, then 2 more Roaches, and she'll move in a couple of Ravages as well with the 150 gas she's got in the bank.
Expansion coming up for Major, of course. Reaper's very, very gas expensive and very, very mineral cheap. So, oh wow, this is a very early third as well.
This is very standard, actually, for 3 racks Reaper, because you can do a variant where you go 5 racks and then third CC, but in general, the Reaper's the whole point is that you get your third CC so much faster than the Zerg. Major plays very defensively here, though, and it means Scarlett can get the third base up, and this is great, because I know for a fact the one frustration Scarlett has against 3 racks Reaper is that she can hold it so well, but she struggles with her third base timing. So getting this up before 4:30, I was about to say before 5 minutes, but before 4:30, means that she is in a fantastic position here in game.
Yeah, that's one of the trade-offs there with the Ling-based defense. If you do manage to hold Reapers with the Ling-based defense, you just get your third base a lot quicker. Of course, it's a lot more difficult to do. And against somebody as good as Major, going with the Roach Ravager defense makes a lot of sense.
Can you just check how many Reapers he actually has? I just want to he's got 11, so that's about right. He could still come across here and cancel that third base, which is maybe what he's going to look to do now when he moves out.
Checking around, making sure he's not getting counter all-in with this 1 Reaper. And really, Major doesn't look like he wants to be that aggressive. Yeah. He may move out now as we see these Reaper. Nope, they're just going to stop over there.
I do find that weird because I feel as though he should be looking to try and just slow down for as much as possible. Combat shields first before stim. That's a really good thing to point out because that means he is going for a bit more of an aggressive attack where he's going to have a lot of Marines very quickly. Scott's taking down these rocks. I like that because that's always a bit of a nuisance to deal with for Ravagers just looking to defend.
Double Evo, double eBay coming up. So we're going to be seeing upgrades galore for these players. The lair does begin for Scarlett. Factory does come on up now for Major as well.
Yeah, and we can see about 10 drones being made. The one thing Scarlett has to be careful is because it's combat shield, she has to be very ready for a push very soon. If she isn't, then she might actually just die because if she doesn't have any units and there's like 20 Marines, that's not going to be good. And yeah, melee upgrades again. That's really cool, especially considered against 3x Rebig because you go Roach Ravager defense. Roach Ravager is a natural way to follow up into the mid game, but she's going to go Ling Bane.
This makes me happy. Almost more happy than on Frost because knowing that there's stim and bio upgrades on the way, she doesn't have to tech to something else. It's gonna be Ling Bane.
Watch her die to this push right now. We're
then
just
I'm
like,
gonna cry, Morty. You're gonna make me cry on camera, on stream. Do you really want that?
A little bit. A little bit here or there. We're going to be seeing these units just gathering together, so he's Major going to push on forwards. He scans ahead. Scarlett actually made some more units, so she's actually going to be completely fine. She's got transfusers available. And at this point, Major might just look for a couple of creep tumor kills. Natural expansion is actually maybe where the main action is going on because we see these Reapers. They're going to start killing some drones. Nice grenade so far. Ooh. 6 workers killed.
Not bad. Only 1 Reaper going down, I believe. Oh, 2 was 1 more. Does fall on the way out. Combat shield Marine push has been warded away for now. And that is one trade-off that Major is going to struggle with for a bit. That's an absurdly late starport, which means very late medevacs. The medevac production is going to begin after the Spire is already started.
Yeah, that's really, really crazy. It's just because, again, I feel as though without kind of delaying the third base, he's just let Scarlett go into the game she wants to go into. And the 3x Reaper has delayed the Terran player so much in his infrastructure, but barely delayed the Zerg at all.
I love that Scarlett is once again just continuing to get rid of all of these rocks. This 4th may be shut down if the Reapers find it too quickly, but nope, the army is in position.
1 Reaper
gets
goes down.
2 Reapers.
That's
nice
so
pick off. And she's even going to go for these rocks as well.
I mean, you
opening
need to.
Yeah, but opening as many passes as she can this early on in the game is just great.
It's actually very different 4th base to take because usually you can't get that base down, but she knows she can here, so it's a better one to take.
I love it for mutas as well, though, because it's a little more out of the way. It's harder to defend against drops if you're playing Roach Ravager, but if you're playing against somebody with tanks and you're going Ling Bane Muta, this base and this base are very difficult to fight into tanks that are positioned well. So this is a great 4th base for her to be going for.
And those bases as well are more easily pushed, whereas this one, you have to go much more further up, and that gives the mutas a bit of a better chance to do some stuff. Yeah, I actually love this. It's a really cool little idea. Bane speed halfway done. This push to the top side is maybe a little bit scary, but Scarlett's been on top of things so far. There's the Banes.
The Banes are late. She's going to lose the 4th.
I mean, in a way, I sort of feel like it's not that bad straight away. I mean, you never want to lose the 4th, obviously, but I feel as though she can get away for taking it, in like 20 seconds or so.
Kind of want to see her take this base and this base simultaneously.
Yeah, classic move.
That way, one of them will most likely finish. She's going to take this one, and no, that's just Queens moving down there, unfortunately. Scarlett still not letting all of my dreams come true.
Yeah, nice little bit of creep denial as well here from Major. Again, we talk so much about Scarlett and being just so good at that creep spread. I mean, whenever Scarlett plays, you almost expect them to turn on our StarCraft and, oh, look, Scarlett's creep spread at the 8-minute mark, guys. That's always a Reddit thread. It's like if you play Reddit bingo, that's a good one to guess. But, yeah, I mean, it is just kind of, the more you can delay, the better position you're going to be in general. As starting to come up, the Reaper's going to try and get a little bit of last-minute harassment done before they die off here. We're going to see big attacker to the top side. Again, the fourth base is going to be not quite going down just yet. The Ling Bane's here.
Yeah, really, really nice defense there by Scarlett. Major not able to extend far enough to get that fourth base. With the Baneling speed and the creep still being this far forward, she can zone the army far enough to avoid killing that fourth base. Really, really nice for her, but this is a lot of units coming to join on up. The muta count has begun, but 6 is not really enough to chase down Medivacs. It's not really enough to help a ton in the fights.
Yeah, Scarlett's sort of setting up to the top side, though. I love the sort of mixture of composition here. Like, a few Roaches and Ravagers, which she had to have earlier, but it's still so useful with the kind of corrosive bars going down and so on. As we're going to see these Banes, a couple of them morphing in, and just going to be looking to see what's happening here. Just going to be looking for a little bit of it.
As well,
yeah,
to try to
really nice.
pincer things in.
Actually, good shot for reinforcements. Yeah, that's probably one of the most important things. And it's such a big part of playing Ling Bane Muta successfully, doing little things like this and catching reinforcements. Counterattack into the natural is going to be blocked by the wall, though, so that's fine. But still, I mean, Scarlett's doing good. She's defending this as Banelings come in and they keep on protecting the fourth.
Muta count's now up to 8. That's kind of like the minimum of where you're happy to start chasing down Medivacs if you win a fight.
6 more on the way. And plus 1 flyer attacks.
Yeah, she's going to be in a great spot with 14 plus 1 Muta. She's got to make sure that she doesn't bleed out too many here.
Flank right now, going to be coming in from the left-hand side, so this is it. It's time to go. Scarlett runs on in. The tanks, a couple of them not siege just yet. Weird to have tanks against a Muta-based composition. I think Major didn't realize it was going to be Ling Bane Muta expecting Roach Ravager as he gets pushed back so easily. And now we see the Medivac starting to fall as well.
Yeah, the Muta's giving chase. There are enough Marines to deal with this. Oh, a bit of an overextension from Scarlett, losing a few more Mutas than she should have.
Medivacs are still going down.
Are falling.
Corrosive Bowers as well, going to be dropping in here. And oh my god, the Mutavac. The Medivac nearly going down. Then another couple of Bowers coming in. The Muta's coming back in. That's a full Medivac that goes down. And Scarlett continues to defend.
Yeah, that last bit was a bit of an overextension, I think. She's down to just 7 Mutas. She lost a lot there.
Yeah, she did, actually. She lost way more than she should have done. It's a little bit scary, actually, because Major gets a bit of momentum now, and that fourth base might go down again. She is getting the base to the right side that we mentioned earlier, but it's not ready just yet. But I guess by the time the drones transfer there,
there's a lot of oversaturation happening as well. She doesn't have the mineral income she should for a 67 worker economy. And that's going to make the transition into Hive Tech a lot more difficult as this base does go down. Not as big of a deal if she... Oh, actually, she does save it for now.
But, how much is this going to cost her? Because she's going to be throwing units in off of creep, and she's just trying to get rid of those Liberators. Does manage to take those down, but Major keeps on pushing in. I mean, the supply lead against the Zerg is perfect. No Banelings anymore, and that's the power of this Terran army. Once the Banes are dead, if the Zerg doesn't get a chance to morph in more, this is where the Zerg falls apart. So this base falls, Scott has to pull back. It's just, I mean, she pulls back to this base, you're right, it's kind of okay, but still, it's not ideal. It's another base she's lost, she has to rebuild it. At some point, has to take the time to remove those workers over as well.
Major is very committed here. He doesn't have a 4 CC, but of course he's in a great position moving forward with about a 25 supply advantage. Pulling drones with this. Not many Banelings in the army, but they get some good hits at the back. The tank goes down. The Mutas are giving chase. Reinforcements are going to join up, but another big Baneling hit. Does she have enough to hold?
You know what? If she can just get rid of a couple more Marines, it's going to be a very different fight here in a couple of moments, but the Marines are getting rid of so many of the Mutalisks. The last few go down, I think. And that means the tank will go down, the Medivacs will go down, but it's so expensive to lose Mutas for. But at the same time, the army supplies are closer than they've been for a couple of minutes now.
Yeah, there's a lot in production. How many Lings are about to pop? Well, it looks like about half of those 40 or so. So 20 are now out. And now that buys her time to make a few more Banelings. She's sitting on a fair bit of gas. 8 Banelings on the way. The Muta count is still at 8, which is what I mentioned earlier as the sort of minimum for a respectable number. She's not down to 5, 6, where you really can't get much done anymore. She's in with a chance for sure. It's closer than it was before, especially with this fourth base over. Major is finally floating his main over to the fourth base location, but it's going to take a while to get there.
I was about to say there's no fourth base for Major yet, and that's kind of a big factor here because the longer he doesn't have that for, the worse. And actually, as an orbital, the fourth base isn't great because Ling Bane run-bys are going to be very effective there, and it's a fourth base, which does have a pathway into it from the north and from the east.
This is actually so many lings. This is risky because that's a lot of supply that's not with the defense. I'm liking the Mutas being active on the map now. She knows that she's got a bit of breathing room.
Oh, look, the reinforcements getting caught by the lings, though. That's huge. That's a lot of Marines and Marauders going down. That's the sort of fight Scarlett wouldn't be looking for. And again,
forces everything back,
so useful.
Gets the lings out, confirms the fourth, and forcing everything back. She's given herself a lot of space. This one drop will come on in, but there's already a response coming in from Scarlett. Yep, she's given herself enough space to go Hive now. Her Hive is fairly late, but it has begun, and it does put a timer on this Marine-based composition.
Now, Mage is switching into Widow Mines, which is sort of what you need to do. He had tanks earlier because he saw the Roaches and Ravagers, assumed Roach Ravager, and was caught off guard by the Ling Bane. Widow Mines are so much better because they fight against the Mutas as well. They're much more mobile against a very mobile Zerg force. So I like this. And he's getting Liberators too, which are good against the Mutas, and eventually the Ultralisks as well. So he's preparing well here in the later stages of the mid-game.
All right, so this new 5th base, old 4th base trying to be reestablished. That's a lot of lings, though. The army supply is up by 20 for Major. Let's see how this goes. The Muta's picking away at a couple of the Marines that are venturing a little bit too far forward. The mines are baited out. They kill a lot of lings, but a lot of Marines as well.
Yeah, and actually Scarlett right now has so much to push on forwards. If you can see Mage is just trying to get out of there. This should have been a better fight for him, but the Widow Mines went the way of Scarlett.
Oh, off creep is generally a risky play, but she's chasing and she's doing good damage. Oh, this might be too much.
No!
Huge hits from the Liberators and from the Widow Mines. Scarlett, oh, she's going to try to get some SCVs, though.
Oh, but she just lost so many units there. That was so crazy because it was actually going very well until she just went a bit too far. Dropped to the right-hand side as well as denying 4th base mine. Might even kill the 4th base at this point. Scarlett is looking to be in trouble here on Galactic.
Well, going for it. The base goes down. She has reestablished this one, so she can move the drones up there, but it's still a very
half
painful
health already,
loss.
and there's already units moving towards it. I don't think it's going to survive. Major knows that. Scarlett's going to be on free bases. Yes, she did not kill enough SCVs to slow Major down with that little kind of a Bane attack we just saw. And Scarlett is looking, again, not so great in Game 6, which you know what that means. We might go to the ace match.
Absolutely, Wardy. I'm so excited because, man, we were predicting a close-fought match, and it is exactly what we're getting here in this Grand Finals.
Yeah, it has been fantastic so far. Libra is pushing a few of those Mutas away once again. The Mutas have to be so careful not to just actually clump up and take too many shots, because that's one very fast way to kind of expedite the GG in the game. 3-3 on the way up for us player Adrenal Glands. You know what? Still a chance of Ultras. Ultras are pretty good.
Yeah, if she can get there, it's going to be great. But we can already see she's down by about 50 supply. There is a bit of a harassment from this. Oh, man, that's actually enough Mutas to stay in it, you know, try to keep him at home.
Yeah, I mean, you know, down 50 supply, man. Get 2 Ultras, that's fine.
Oh, God. Okay, whew. Dodges.
You've got to be so scared of those Liberators.
4 is the magic number of Liberators that allows you to fight against Mutas.
Yeah, the Scarlet just can't really do much right now. Widowmine goes off, caps a few units. Going to try and get that medevac, which she does, but now the Liberator's going to get so much damage. Goodbye, Mutas.
God, that
actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be a few more, but either way, I mean, this base getting pushed into once again. It's going to be going down here. So that base goes down. The gold base is going to go down as well. Scarlet's once again down to just 3 bases. And realistically, at this point, what do you do? I mean, you can't do anything. Even Ultras are just ridiculous to try and assume can turn this game around. With Liberators out as well.
Well, the real question is what Ultras, because she doesn't have an Ultra Cavern. She doesn't have the minerals to make an Ultra Cavern, and she doesn't have the minerals to make Ultras, even if she does save up enough to make an Ultra Cavern.
Let me believe, man. I wanted to believe those kind of Ultras, and I could whine as a Terran player. My favorite part of casting.
I'm sorry, Wardy. This one is looking pretty over. 80 supply lead for Major, but what an incredible game. What an incredible Game 6. And oh no! That hurts. That really hurts my soul.
GG. Scarlett looks a little bit frustrated after that one, actually. Just not looking too happy about the way it went. It's an interesting one because I sort of feel as though the early game went very well for her. It was just that 4th base she struggled so much to defend, and in a way, I wonder if that's just a weakness of switching to Lingbane Muta from investing into Roach Ravager initially, because it is a bit of a weird mix she had going for herself. I kind of liked it at the time, but I wonder if that's why she struggled to hold the 4th, which created all the rest of her problems.
Yeah, I think also, even when she started to pull back a little bit, there was, that, of course, that chase. 2 chases, actually. The first one where it started very well, but then eventually she turned around, was fleeing, and then decided to fight, which proved to be a bad decision. And then the bit where she chased all the way back to the 4th base, took a giant mine hit and a large Liberator hit, lost about 12 Banelings for 6 SCVs, and those were really the 2 sort of final nails in the coffin, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, every time you overextend Zerg, you're really kind of pushing your limits, and when you the Wood of Mines that time and the Liberators, that was just way too far. She's sort of a little bit behind then already. There was the other fight, I think the first overextension, that really was sort of unnecessary because she held off so well. So she just needs to, I think she's, it's hard to say, both of them can take this at this point. Obviously 3-3, game number 7 coming up, it's a fairly, King Sejong, right?
Yeah, like that's a decent Terran map.
It's a decent Terran map, but Scarlett doesn't, I mean, it is decent for Terran, but Scarlett's been one of these players who has played on this probably more than
that's what I was looking forward to a lot, because while on paper it is a decent Terran map, it's also a very good Ling Bane Muta map, and even though she hasn't really been doing it that much, but more importantly, it's not it's not a bad mech map. You can play mech on it, but it's not a New Gettysburg. It's not a Galactic. And honestly, despite this being a favorite of most Terrans, Major did not pick it. It's the last map, which makes me think this one is honestly very close to 50-50.
I wonder what he does. I just wonder what his build order is going to end up being here, as we see him just having a little bit of think, just trying to figure out what exactly is going to be going on. It's going to be, man, any game. I mean, how lucky are we? 7-game series, TVZ. Like, we've seen like 1 or 2. We've seen such a good mix of games as well, like Roach Ravager, Mech, Sky Terran, Proxy Hatches, Roach Ravager attacks early. We've seen it all in this series. Some Ling Bane Muta. We've seen back and forth games. We've seen.
What are we missing? A proxy 4 racks Marine SCV pull.
If he does that right now, I'm just,
You're gonna get up and leave halfway through the game.
I wouldn't have much of a chance to, man. It'd be such a short game. I mean, anything can happen right now. I get ready to go into this King Sejong. I'm looking over my shoulder to try and find out admin. Oh, it looks as though admin's PC's been turned off. That's probably a bit of an issue here.
Yeah.
That might be what's slowing things down. I just like looked over my shoulder, like out of the booth. I'm like, oh, over there's usually where the admin sits, and there's people taking apart the PCs. So that may very well be what's hosting.
He's online, I think.
Is he? Okay. Well, we're just gonna.
No, he's not online. Oh my lord.
Okay, just host up yourself.
But I don't have the. Let me just add them. We'll make this work.
Yeah, if they accept. All right, we're gonna get set up into this, guys. Just a few moments trying to fix this, because I'm pretty sure admin's been kind of having some issues or so. Shout out to the admin though. It's actually been it's been really smooth this weekend actually.
And he's been doing a great job. Production's doing a great job to minimize downtime. Everyone's been doing a great job, Wardy. It's amazing.
Everyone. We've got loads of people watching on the StarCraft stage right now as well. Actually, the StarCraft stage is pretty full on seats.
I don't see any seats that are open.
Yeah, it's busy, man. The other games have all finished up. We're the last game to finish. You know why? Because the best games finish last.
Yeah. This is definitely awkward. I don't think. Okay, Major has accepted my friend request.
That's fine, because he will be able to find Scarlett.
That's true. All right.
WCS game help search.
Jeez. Oh, there we go. All right.
Yeah, the official Blizz one.
Game.
We're getting there, guys. Sorry for this delay. You are watching the WESG America Regional Grand Finals. Game number 7 is coming up between Major and Scarlett. We are setting up into this. The winner goes home with just over $12,000. Both these players are qualified for China, but of course, if you are 3-3 in game number 7 of the Grand Finals, you're not just satisfied with going to China. You are pretty much looking for that victory. Of course they are. And we predicted this to be a great series. What a great series it has been. We've been talking about it so much already. And as we just get the players set up, ready to go here, and just wait for game number 7 on King Sejong Station to get started. Penguin, he's tapping away. He's looking like a little bit of a computer hacker right now, setting up the lobby. PMing the players like, okay, guys, we're going to get this going. We're going to be good to go in just a few moments' time.
Oh, is there like anybody else we need to invite? Because I don't know.
Right, join. You know how to do the slash?
Of course I know how to do the slash.
Okay, slash join, WESG. Everyone's going to start joining the channel now. WESG _AM finals is my guess. Moment of truth.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay.
The Spanish cast is the other one as well. One below.
Let's do 2? Okay.
Yeah, well, they're in there. Both of them are in sometimes, and then both of them in sometimes.
I'm really proud of us for fixing this issue, Wardy.
Go us, best admin casters of the day.
Oh man, thank God I'm like casting with Wardy, who runs his own tournaments. Jeez, I would have been sat here for the next 3 hours. Like, what am I? Okay.
How do I join a chat channel? All right. So, if the players are ready, we're going to go into maybe make Major. Oh, it's okay. We'll do pink versus red. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, probably everyone, but This is why
I'm sorry, Wardy. I'm doing my best.
It's okay. We tried. Game 7's on the way, though, guys. It is time to decide who's going to be your WESG America Regional Final Champion. Is it going to be Scarlett? Is it going to be Major? Let's find out. We're going in game. It's King Sejong Station. Penguin, right now, tell me who wins this map.
Scarlett.
Oh, that was my pick.
I don't really care.
Okay, well, Scarlett's my pick as well. I genuinely believe in Scarlett. At the same time, I think this is such a 50-50. Like, it can go any way. Like, the builds, you know, it's going to take one small mistake to, like, just completely determine who wins this at this point. Guys, it's game number 7. To the top left-hand side of the map, this is your last chance to cheer this weekend in this event.
Oh, my bad. There's
go.
always something.
There we
There's
go.
always something.
Hey, well, we didn't get there complete. All right, let's do this. To the options.
God.
Yeah. Brazil. Brazilian server coming up, guys. All right, so we're getting there. Considering we lost our admin, we're not doing so bad. So again, just hold on to that hype a little bit longer. Hey, man, there were so many delays at Kiev. We're just trying to make up for it. You guys all weekend long, Twitch chat's been like, you know, there's been like a 5-minute time in the game. They're like, oh my God, the delays. Well, here you go. Here's a real life delay for you guys right now.
The last chance possible. Bringing out the trolling.
Oh man.
Oh my lord.
Again, we are sorry, guys. Obviously, some things happened that's just delayed our admin from getting us into the game. So we're trying to fix it as best we can. Major's hosted already, but we've hosted with Game Hard, and I guess Major probably didn't. So get this set up, guys. And again, just a few more moments. As you can see, we are live from Sao Paulo, Brazil. And it's Scarlett or Major to take home that first place prize. Again, we've had it all so far. We've had so many different games, fast games, short games, long games. We've seen so much. We've seen different play styles. Everything has been fantastic up until now. It's been really, really great as we continue to set up into this. Oh, I can see our admin now. Our admin's now
he's alive!
at the PC.
He's alive!
Oh.
Unlike my voice.
Hey, we did it. So in the end, the admin saves the day anyway. And now Major's blue. Perfect.
Oh my God.
Everything got fixed. You know, we cursed this because literally just beforehand we were like, hey, great job, admin. Been doing a great job all weekend long.
And
then
he's
he's
just
like,
gone.
he's just like gone. Thinks like games number 7 is not going to happen anymore. All right, guys, we'll set up into this.
Ultralisks are broken. But no, Major killed him beforehand.
All right. Time to do this. Scarlett there, just looking. Well, it's hard to tell. Really.
Little annoyed,
yeah,
I think.
I think a little annoyed. Probably most of that she kind of has to go to game 7. I mean, we've seen Scarlett brimming with confidence all weekend long. I mean, she really has. I mean, she just against Major yesterday in a series which, yes, it mattered a lot in terms of position on the bracket, but at the same time, it also kind of, you know, it wasn't kind of the worst series to lose.
Yeah, definitely not. She did, of course, still advance and got herself into a bracket where she was able to push through. Well then, Wardy, for the last time, unless we have a really weird tie in the oh God, can you imagine?
Calling it now. Calling it now.
No,
They're drawing
no.
game 7. All right, let's
in
go
the bottom right, spawn location. We've got our blue Terran player for Invasion for Mexico. It is Major.
I am really, really worried right now that the Canada curse is going to kick in again here in StarCraft 2, because all weekend long Canada's finished in 2nd place. Let's find out what happens. To the top left-hand side, our pink Zerg player from Canada. Can she win game number 7? It's Scarlett.
Alrighty, gas first once again from Major. Hatch gas pool as normal for Scarlett. What do you think, mech or bio?
It's hard. I mean, Mech's good on this map, especially because he can take the 4th base forward as well. I mean, actually, Mech's really good on this map, and Mech's been the one thing that Major's had a lot of success with. He's won games with bio as well, but I feel as though the Mech game... Well, that said, actually, the Mech game was that Mech game where he was kind of behind on Frost from the beginning. So, I mean, that Mech game didn't go too well for him, but it was behind early, right? So, I think back to New Gettysburg, and that was just like a complete stomp with Mech.
That's very true.
Wouldn't it be a kind of interesting way to kind of end the series the way we started out? Just Major straight up mech, doesn't mess around with like a silly little marine build that puts him behind.
Silly little marine build. Who builds marines?
But I mean, yeah, I mean, he kind of, you know, it's an interesting way to go into mech. And yeah, it works, but we also saw exactly how it doesn't work sometimes as well. There's the factory we expect after the Gas First Reaper expand. Calling's on the way up from Scarlett. I mean, it's just Hatch Gasport stand. She's just getting ready to defend the Reaper.
I really like how Major went from not SCV scouting in like any game to like halfway through the finals. He's like, I should probably start doing this after the builds that Scarlett's been doing this tournament.
Yeah, she's been, I mean, she's not been afraid to kind of crack different things out, right? Frozen Temple, through Ravagers, Dasan Station, Proxy Hatch. She's been doing some different things as Major comes forward here, and I'm just going to trade with this Reaper right now. Fueling's just moving back a little bit, and Link Speed is going to be coming up in a few moments' time, about halfway done. So, I mean, very standard. I mean, it's going to be a free minutes 30 to Link Speed. Queen injects, Reaper harasses, and we set on up. Second gas, though, from Major already. And that's going to be a starboard, and looks to be a Banshee base play in the early stages. Although last time this happened, then they deliberated and ended up playing Sky Terror.
Very, very true. Now, this is one map where obviously this is so out of the meta that I very much doubt we'll see it, but it would be amazing if we saw Liberator range. Because look how much space there is behind the main, look how much space there is behind the natural mineral line. Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, Liberator range is something we really haven't seen in a long time. Man, I actually can't think the last game I casted which had Liberator range in it. That wasn't like, you know, late game Liberator range, right? That's, that would be interesting.
Alrighty, well, Hellions on their way on out as we would expect. Banshee should join the production tab. Cloak and a Banshee. There we go. So
yeah, it's going to be Hellion Banshee this time around.
He's floating his...
Oh, but only 4 Hellions. Oh, that's interesting.
So
it's going to be some Marines.
Yeah. And maybe going into Bio, and I actually would really like that because Scarlett has basically seen every single time that Major has gone Hellions, he's tried to go into Mech afterwards, I believe. And this would be a nice little mind game. Great catch on the Reaper there.
Yeah, just getting rid of that nice and quickly. Doesn't have to worry about it too much. The Hellion's going to try and dive, but Queen's in position. It'll be a bit silly to go up there, and he knows the Lings are going to be coming from the main base as well very soon, so makes a lot of sense. Just take the kind of map control, move around a little bit right now. You see the siege tank is on the way out as well, so it is very safe actually opening here from Major, like 4 Hellions, a Banshee, tank on the way up afterwards as well. Just a very, very safe way to open in the early stages.
Indeed it is. We already have a Spore Crawler coming up as well. I believe that's in the 3rd base. No, it's actually in the main and the... well, main and the natural, I guess. Yep. So the Banshees are going to have a bit of trouble finding the damage that they need to, but, you know, Spores don't cover everything. Still hold position, pick off some gas mining drones, etc. with proper control. More Queens popping on out. Total of 5 right now. 2 injured workers. Doesn't actually get any warded away. Major's going to want a little bit more from that.
Yeah, the Banshee play so far hasn't been super successful, but you know, as long as the Banshee doesn't die, it can repair, can go back in. You can try and pick off of the 3rd base later on. Creep spread you can try and deny as well. There's a lot of things you can do. It's actually attacking to the natural right now as these Hellions get surrounded. Great setup by Scarlett here to pick those off. Actually, it was a great setup, but it didn't actually quite work out as this Banshee could take so much damage. Nearly goes down to the Spore Crawler vision. As we do see one Queen just being kept alive. Great stuff by Scarlett. Again, we've seen this all day long from her, but she is consistently just shutting things down very cleanly.
It's happening again, thank God. Lingbane Muta boys is coming on up. We've got the 1-1 with the melee. We've got the additional hatchery in the main for additional larva for that Ling production. We've got the Baneling nest. We've got the lair. And, well, everything is setting on up. But this is Major going into the double eBay. As I was kind of saying, I think this is a really cool idea. Scarlett, though, not going to be switching into Roaches expecting mech. She knows this is likely bio. And, well, the Banshees are going to shark around a bit.
This is finally our first straight-up legit Lingbane Muta game.
Yep.
In game number 7. This is going to be the best game of the series. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be a 35-minute epic. It's going to be sick, man.
That would be sick.
Yeah, we're going to see these Banshees moving around, picking off a drone or 2, and just having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Upgrades from both players. A little bit of a tank and back push right now. That's pretty nice.
She hasn't picked off the rocks yet. That's actually a big, big oversight by Scarlett. You need these rocks to be down by the time this pushes.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really annoying. So this is actually Major with a lot of potential to get some damage done. The Banshees to the side as well. All kind of the reason that she hasn't gotten rid of those, right? Because he's been kind of denying the kind of Lings that come in that position. She has to pull away those drones from the mineral line, and to some extent, I mean, she'll lose the gas. She's going to loop around, which is nice, as the Queens will come forward and try and push the medevacs away a little bit. The Lings, I guess there's enough of them to kind of just run here. There isn't that
nice
many
splitting
Marines.
as well. And, well, all the Marines are going to go down. Scarlett actually deals with this with flying colors.
I thought you needed to kill the Rocks Penguin. Clearly not. You just run Lings around.
Well, if you're Scarlett, apparently you're good enough to not have to do normal things.
That's like the moral of the entire weekend.
Upgrades too.
Right?
This is what I love about playing Lingbane Muta as a Zerg. You get very far ahead in the upgrades against any kind of really aggressive bio opening.
Full Banshees in the main base, just looking to see what they can do. Queen very nearly going down. Scott's so good at pulling these units back at the last possible moment, though. Works out very well. Just doesn't want to lose this Spire, of course, so coming in, pushes that back. The Banshee's very low in health now, and still haven't really done too much. They've been a little bit of a nuisance, but nothing too crazy.
Third base has been established for Major. He's setting up his wall of depots, adding on an extra starport down there. Wow, that's a very early second starport.
Yeah, that's very, very early on, actually. Wow. Just kind of going Liberators, I guess, to deal with the mutas, do you think?
Probably. That's something that can work very well, but if Scarlett catches onto it very quickly, she can stop the muta count at about 10 to 11, and just go mass Ling Bane below it. And then if you overcommit to the Liberators, there's nothing that really deals well with the Ling Bane, and then she can get a lot of damage done with that as the game goes on with multi-pronged aggression, especially on a map like Sejong with multiple attack paths.
Yeah, most definitely. We do see these couple of Banshees. Again, just a Ling or two being killed off. A little bit of a push forward here. Again, risking the creep towards the fourth base, which is nice. This fourth base might be in a bit of trouble. And as we see, Lings will stream on forwards and will be enough to push this back for now.
All the tanks do get lifted on up. Oh, the mines. Nicely baited by Scarlett. They still get a fair few kills, but nothing as bad as it could have been.
Now the Mutas come forwards as well. They have the tanks. This is really good from Scarlett. It's actually a fantastic engagement. Those two Banshees to the left side is probably the only thing she's missing on cleaning up, but even those are probably not going to do too much here. And we've seen the fourth base and the fifth base coming up. So this is very similar to what we saw in the last game and talked about, where you take two bases just to make sure that one of them is going to end up coming up. Yeah.
Now, Scarlett, if she decided to go for a big push with 2-2, after cleaning up that army, she may actually just be able to end the game. That being said, Baneling Speed's already done a long time ago, so that would be an obscenely strong push. Yeah, she's so far ahead in upgrades.
That's the big mistake by Major, because actually Major was not that far behind on 1-1.
Yeah, he was about 20 seconds behind. Now he's about
like
almost a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's Major just making a big mistake. Not stun his 2-2 for a long time here. Now, 4 Liberators on the way up at a time. Scarlett needs to... Yeah, she needs to stop making mutas. She needs to figure this out because it's, as we said, the Liberators do pretty good against mutas. So she needs to try and stop this from happening.
Well, there's no Banelings on the map right now. She's got to be very careful with this move out. The Terran army, when it's this large, becomes very difficult to deal with purely muta.
Yeah, it really, really does. We see Scarlett set up for a flank, though, to the right, to the left, and from a couple of different angles as well. Not going to run in just yet, though. Those Wooden Mines going to be a little bit scary. Has to get ready to deal with those when she does run in. As we just see her sitting back. I mean, now would be a good time to fight, though, being up in these upgrades.
Especially with the Liberators not being in position. They are moving out now. They'll join on up. 6 lives is very scary. It is a low enough number that with good pre-splitting, you can still kill them off. You won't trade super efficiently. Oh, no!
That's so many mutas starting to go down right there as the Marines just kind of go under.
That was
and that's
6
crazy.
mutas.
Yeah, that's so expensive. Scarlett, big mistake. But look at this counterattack as she goes straight back kind of behind the army with her entire army. So run-by's coming in. Lings, Banes, and here we go. Scarlett setting it up with a huge attack. Now this is actually going to force the Terran back. Third base as well, though. Scarlett's third is taking a lot of damage from this drop.
Yeah, but it looks like the Spore picked up the medevac, so those units are all going to go down. Oh, this is a decent hold on the natural, but then the third is taking so much damage.
Yeah, 23 SCVs lost there. Oh, she burrows a few Banes, and it's so likely that Major didn't see that happening because he was just busy looking elsewhere because so much has been going on. So if SCVs transfer over to this third, that could be huge.
That was such a sick move from Scarlett. Look at Major being so supply blocked as well. Nothing in production as far as supply depots goes.
So many depots with that little attack there as mutas still just flying around. What a way to turn it around from losing 6 mutas to suddenly kind of creating such a great opportunity. And look at those Banes. They are lying in wait. So ready for kind of a lot more workers to come over here to just unburrow and just go blow them up. Major's going to be like, man, how didn't I see it on the mini-map? And then he's like, oh, they were actually burrowed if you watch the replay.
Well, she has so many links. Maxed out Scarlett against 160 supply.
She's pushing on forwards. We see a couple of Wooden Mines getting taken down immediately. And the run by into the natural. Majors all over the place, having to try and defend while attacking. That's not what you want to be doing as a Terran player. That wall being down is huge as here we go. Scarlett, one-dimensional attack, but it's going to be huge. The Banes to the top left hit very, very nicely indeed. So many Marines going down here. Major loses everything as Scarlett is pushing on through. What an engagement. The Liberators come in, but it does not matter. Scarlett is your WESG America Regional Finals champion.
And I just heard the crowd cheering from all the way up here. Scarlett, a fan favorite, even down in Brazil, looking very happy. And there's the Canadian flag coming out. Proud to represent her country once again. She won a WCS title back in 2012 when the national representation was really important. But now she wins this WESG America's regional final in Sao Paulo. Scarlett collects her first major tournament win in almost 2 years and denies Major the championship.